All right, first things first, welcome everyone. Welcome, happy Sunday. And another weekend has ended, but just think, couple more weeks and we're on July 4th. So those that work outside the house, you will have some time off. So I don't know why my chat is so whacked, but it's whacked. I don't know why, but I tried like 20 minutes to fix it and I can't. So it's good as long as the poll's not up, but it's not even showing results. So whatever. So, all right. Let me say hi. What's up, members, Patreons, subscribers, everyone in between, lurkers, haters. And I do want to let you guys know that I still have not gotten into Patreon. If you are a new Patreon, I apologize. If you sent me a message in Patreon, I apologize. I'm going to get in there. I promise. It's really bad. So I would tell you to sign up for Patreon, but I can't even get in there. So I can't welcome you or add you to Discord or anything. But I'm going to get in there. It's been like a month already. I know. Bad. Bad, bad. So, all right. For anyone that is not familiar with what's going on, I'm going to tell you guys in a moment. But first, let me tell you how bad my day went. So I'm going to try to keep this live under an hour and a half. I'll say 90 minutes, hopefully easier. I'll get it shorter. Because what I did was I'm wrapping packages that have to go out tomorrow. And I have stuff in my kitchen because I'm also taking pictures of stuff. And then I sat down at my computer to get somebody's address. And not only did I not get the address, but then I started spiraling into the Megan. And next thing you know, I'm setting up a live. And I went back in my kitchen to get a drink and realized I left my whole kitchen a mess. I got boxes everywhere. I got candles everywhere. So if my kids go to cook, I'm in deep shit. So yeah, that's where my ADD kicks in. Also, before I even get started, I have to make a phone call after this live. I don't know if you guys remember, I did, Joseph, you'll like this. But I don't know if you guys remember, I did right before Brad died, I had done a interview with the mother of a missing kid, Timothy Dees. Very sad that he just disappeared out of this town. They had a private investigator. Well, she called me today, and it was funny because I normally don't answer my phone on Sundays, especially from somewhere that was, I'm going to get to that, Safari. Something, like it was from Michigan. Now, I don't even know what possessed me to answer it. But on the other end was a woman crying. And it was, once she said her name, she said, "It's Barbara." I knew immediately who it was. So she was telling me that somebody else disappeared in that same area. And she wanted to do a podcast for it. So I said, absolutely, I'll absolutely do it. So I explained to her what happened with Brad, and that's why it took so long, for me to get back to her. The sad part is, it seems that the private investigator that was on the case disappeared and said he wants no part of it, and nobody knows why. So I'm also going to reach out to him, and hopefully I can get some answers. So look forward to that podcast. The only thing I know so far, there were drugs involved. Of this girl that's missing, but she's 20 years old, and I don't care if she was a prostitute and a drug user, she still doesn't deserve to disappear without a trace. So I'm gonna get into more of that later, and once I speak to her. Okay, so let's get right into this. If you're not familiar with what's going on, there is no case yet. I'll get you I don't have, all she knows is Jesse's mom. Because I said, what's her name before I call her. She doesn't even know her name. So she just called her as Jesse's mom. So I'll get all the information when I get it, and I will bring it to you guys. But if you're not familiar with what's going on with John Walsh and Megan Walsh, John Walsh from, the big superstar John Walsh, is in almost a custody fight with his daughter. His daughter seems pretty well grounded, until you start researching her, and she's pretty much a conspiracy theorist that a little over the top. She's very well educated. She's very well spoken. She's lived in India. She's lived in Florida. She has traveled. Now she spends her life being a wellness coach, like a healing coach. And I wouldn't say a life coach, but more like a healing coach. But she's definitely well educated and very intelligent and well spoken. So she has, I believe, 5 kids, maybe? I want to say 5, but I'm not totally sure. So that's what I said, Joseph. I'm going to call him and find out what's going on. So, Megan, let me just say, JLR is the one that brought this case to pretty much this community, I guess you could say. I was going to go live about this early this afternoon, but I couldn't. I just didn't have the time. So I put it off till tonight. I see a couple of other people starting to talk about it. That's why I'm like, you know what? Let me do this now. So she has 4 kids. Okay. And she just had a new one. So it seems that eccentric, that's a good word. So it seems that she lost all her kids. She wants to blame CPS. This isn't CPS. CPS doesn't just take kids without somebody doing the orders. So this goes beyond CPS. This goes, in my opinion, to her father. Why all of a sudden her father wants to take her children and says she's an unfit mom? Don't know. Well, I kind of do know, but I'm not going to say anything yet. So, yes, 3 were taken last year, and then 2 days ago they took her 5-day-old baby. What I have not heard of is, where's the father? There are a couple things she says that when I play some videos, I'm going to go through with you guys, because there's a lot of red flags that don't make too much sense. One of them being that she believes that her father is behind all this because she came out about him and she told the world about him. And she stopped speaking to him 6 months prior to her kids being taken. So is it possible that that was his fight back? Yeah, it is. But there's so much confusion about how CPS works and the courts and custody fights. And honestly, this is like right up my alley. But she said, and this, I believed her, everything she said up until I heard her say, and you guys are going to hear it too, but up until I heard her say that CPS told her to find somewhere for the kids to live. CPS does not do that. They don't tell the mother that just took their kids that she's going to find the home for them to live. That's not how it works. So that was kind of weird to me. That guy was like, yeah, I don't know about that. Why she has so many children with so many different dads, not my business, don't care. But all right, let me back up. Do I believe that John Walsh is a complete psychopathic narcissist? Yes, I do. Do I believe that he would do this to his own daughter? Yes, I do. Do I believe that he would do this to his daughter for not allowing him to see his grandchildren? Absolutely, I do. So, yeah, they decide where it goes. Oh, CPS does that here. They ask for many family and friends. Yes, they ask for many family and friends. However, they don't tell the mother that they just took the kids from to find the family to work with. They will ask for a list of family and friends, and then they will interview and say, this is who we want to go with. Am I wrong or right? Oh, a father did do this. It's known that her father did this. As far as I know, He's too much, exactly. But there's something interesting I found, a clip that I found that has nothing to do with JLR, but I want you guys to hear it. It's pretty interesting. And this is where you kind of see her conspiracy theory coming out, or a conspiracy theorist coming out. So hold on, let me grab it. Yeah, like they tell, whoop, hold on. I just lost you guys. All right. That's what I'm saying. They'll tell the family, they'll tell you, give us a list of family of friends that you think would make a good parent, or a good place, or a good place for you to be, and we will go ahead and find out who's, best. So yeah, according to her, and you guys are going to hear this in a little while, according to her, they're telling her to do it. No, I'm not buying that. So this part I found pretty interesting. Hold on. This is from October 29th of 2021. But now I got to find the exact part that I had it on.
Alcohol is better for me.
Fights with them,
I think it's right.
And, so that's kind of why I think it's easier to do what I do now, because I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I could care less. But these guys, Motorola, who we know, false. I think there was.
I forgot what I was going to say to that, and this dealing.
Here's where what's interesting is ridiculous.
Zoom. Well, we don't.
Girls.
Yeah, I mean, we can touch on it.
And you're the president.
Okay. Hold on. Can I make it bigger? All right. So it is David Zublik. I don't even know who that is. Megan Walsh and Pagan Ellie Shepard, who's Agent X11 or something. So they're talking on a panel on Rumble, and they're about to get into John Walsh and the Gabby Petito case. I found her. All right, I'm not even going to tell you what I think. I want you guys to listen to it first. Hold on.
David, I've never won a trophy in my life, and now I look back at everything, I'm so happy. They're all a mess.
Yeah.
They really are. And my dad all over the Inquirer, and with his sex addiction, alcohol everywhere, Playboy status, and then he's out, saying I'm saving kids.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the bad guys. So,
Safari Dream. I know that's what I wanted to talk about this case. I agree with you that the general public believes that that's how CPS thinks if there's no merit to it, but that is not true. CPS, everything she's saying about CPS is true. Everything she's saying about caseworkers and them taking kids is true. So it's like, if you're innocent, just speak. But if you ask a lawyer, even if you're innocent, you don't speak. If you have nothing to hide, let a cop in your house. No, never let a cop in your house. If, always talk to him outside. If he says, can I come in? Say no. Like, there are certain things that once you understand the law, or you have cops in your family, or you have lawyers in your family, or you've been through something, all of the logic of, if you have nothing to hide, or CPS would just throw it out, or a judge would throw it out, gets completely eliminated in real life circumstances. That's the other reason I want to come live about it.
Real quick on the Lindsey Harris case. This is really why I bring this up, not only to get justice for Lindsey, but also to really show the viewers that the narratives that are made up to fit the agendas or for profit and ratings. So my friend Lindsey Harris was my best friend growing up, from ironically Skinny Atlas, the Finger Lakes. We have not Hunter Biden, here we go. My family, I actually summered all growing up in Skinny Atlas, New York. My parents owned 2 estates there. and that is the Finger Lakes. That is one of the Finger Lakes right in the middle, which actually is known for some sort of submarine capabilities, things like that. So anyways, she was from there. We grew up together. She goes missing when I'm in college. And she had moved out to Las Vegas, and she was groomed in Syracuse and in Skaneateles by a guy by the name of Solomon Barron, who, you know, they would say it's her boyfriend and these things. Really, he was a pimp, and he got her to move out to Las Vegas. She started escorting. And then we find her Mercedes and $500 cash and all of her belongings vacated in a parking lot in between two of the main clubs in the Luxor and I think the Excalibur or something.
Well, according to the narrative that's going around, Sissy, he did this because she's mentally unstable. I personally think because he's a complete narcissist and she would not let him see him. That she cut herself off from her family, which included her kids. That's just my own feeling.
Like that in Las Vegas. From then, you know, there's a search. We get a search, and I remember, you know, her parents were like my parents, you know, to me, because my parents were always, you know, my dad was always a pimp, and he got her to move out to Las Vegas. She started escorting. And then we find she was from there, Excalibur or something like that. Came with this narrative saying, oh, we're going to put her on the show. And this is a girl that went missing. She is a drug addicted escort prostitute that got picked up by a trucker or something. And now she's been murdered. And just to watch him, I'll never forget watching him create and be so strong about that narrative when maybe, you know, people do make mistakes and people go down the wrong path, but that doesn't mean that they deserve to be, you know, slaughtered or that it was a serial killer. And that brings up a huge theme here is this serial killer narrative. And the
fact that your best friend is, I mean, how close to home?
We know most likely who did it. We know he would threaten us. He was this guerrilla pimp. And he was horrible. And I guess Lindsey had started trying to get lost. And just very similar things. Then when Epstein happened and my dad had a new season of In Pursuit and my brother was the new co-host with him, they go on and they do Lindsey's case again. Like Hope, they have.
This is a deep state false flag operation. And then all of a sudden New York Post drops this big bomb that Gabby Petito was in the irreplaceable video for Sandy Hook. I mean, how crazy is that? I mean,
yeah, that blew my
insane.
mind when I heard that the other night. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Something's going on.
Well, it's interesting, and interestingly enough, that both the Petitos and the Laundries were from Long Island, and then Brian proposes to her, and the following in March, which was her birthday. Her birthday is March 19th. Brian proposes to her, and then in April, and I don't know what the date, maybe Hitler's birthday, I don't know, but in April, the father of Petito, of Gabby, moves to Vero Beach. 6 months.
Okay, this is where conspiracy theorists can put circumstantial, non-relevant evidence together and make it sound like it means something. This is where intelligence ends and conspiracy theories start. Just Vero Beach has a lot of people living in it. A lot of people moved from Long Island to Florida, all over Florida, northern Florida, central. I personally know a couple of people that moved to Vero Beach. There's no conspiracy behind it. They didn't like South Florida. They liked Vero Beach, and that's where they moved. There's no conspiracy behind it.
Later, his daughter is dead, but who do we know that lives in Vero Beach?
John Walsh.
Boom.
And when did they start this whole attack on me, guys? April Fool's Day.
Yeah, that's like a satanic thing, if you ask me. And the autopsy reports, of course.
Yeah, I'm still looking for ties with them with the occult.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll find it. Keep digging, you'll find it.
I think.
I actually was told a potential connection with that the Laundries are involved in the occult. So that's why Brian Laundrie's notebook was or his readings and the drawings that people had found were so dark.
Okay. So in very nonchalant fashion, in very calm, well-spoken terms, she very just easily drops how, while eating a strawberry, how she believes that Brian Laundrie that the Laundries are in some satanic cult. Okay. But like I said, very nonchalantly, very matter-of-factly, and had some power behind it. She really believes this.
I was told to look into the manufacturing company of the juicing machines that they sell. I believe it's
Bad Wolf, what are you talking about? But it will be proved right, most likely. What, that John Walsh, that the Laundries moved to Vero Beach because that's where John Walsh lives? I don't think so. They moved to Vero Beach long before she went missing.
FMC, Food, Machinery, and Chemicals, and that also that company makes pill presses as well. So, I was told to kind of look in that direction. Also in Vero Beach, apparently we have Natalie's juicing and some of the older families. That would be the Sexton family, which is one of the largest families in our oldest and wealthiest families in our town. Originating with the Driftwood Hotel on the water was Waldo Sexton, and that was known as a whorehouse for the Navy trainees that would be coming off of Dynamite Point and different places in the area at the time. So then we have a port. We've got a lot of water. Captain Hiram's is a restaurant here that ironically is owned by a Collins family and started by a Collins family. And that would have to do a lot with the drug trafficking that we've been talking about. And all of these men
Now remember, we have no idea if what she's saying is true. No idea. But because she's so well spoken and she says it so nonchalantly, it's believable. It is. So I can see why people might believe her. I can think of a million of them, Bad Wolf. Anything Alex Jones says is bullshit. But you see what I'm saying though? She's just so well spoken that you think what she's saying is definitive truth. That's the problem with these people. She's not even she's not pulling an Alex Jones. She's not passionate. She's just so matter-of-factly that it makes it sound right. No, not the Laundries, Petito. Oh, she talks a lot.
Coming from South Florida, Hollywood area, doing this originally. And then my brother's head being found, ironically, in Vero Beach as well.
Okay. Now, put this all together. Listen to what she's saying. This is whacked. And I'm going to explain why it's so whacked.
And my parents moving here and living here.
Okay. It's not abnormal. It's not overly abnormal for parents of a murdered child to move closer to where a part of their body was found, so maybe they can find the rest of the body or get answers or something. Because remember, Adam Walsh's body still has not been found. So it's not over the top to think that they may move closer to where that head was found.
And then having, I grew up with several of my father's good friends. I mean, he had very few friends. He was always traveling. And the good friends that he had, I grew up with their kids, and they were ex-drug guys. You know, one of them disappeared for years, and we thought he, you know, something happened to him, and we ended up finding out the whole time he had been in federal prison. So, you know, and one on the back of our island where we grew up was known to have his plane come in, and was at the time, even when we were in high school, selling coke. So, you know, there seems to be this theme with
Adam's mom. It's just, they have the same parents, same mom, same dad.
You know, the drug trafficking and coming up here. Also, there have been a few boys or men of my brother's age and peers of his growing up that have been busted for trafficking drugs. They got sentences. My dad actually got involved with his best friend.
Oh my God, Alex Jones' coverage of Bohemian is so far off. I'm not even going to get into this now, but believe me, it is so fucking whacked. He is so wrong about it that it's scary.
And my brother's best friend got in trouble, Jake Parks, and he actually, my dad got involved and gained him a lesser sentence. And so we're finding out, and Zachary Rose is someone people can look up. Zachary Rose was actually affiliated with the, I believe it's the Georgia brothers, who are American Pain, so the American Pain clinics. Also, these men the fathers will have construction businesses, it'll be lawn services, and it will be storage and moving trucks. And that's kind of what's going on between the affiliation there. I know we got a little deeper than I meant to, but, you know, it's just things to throw out.
All right, this is not the part that I was looking for. Let me just tell you so I don't have to go through it. But the part I was looking for was she turns around and she says that it's all a conspiracy because her dad, Adam's head was found in Vero Beach. So was so was Petito, or so was Laundry, something, or just found a head. And in Laundry, they just found a head. And they only found a partial skull. And in Laundry, they only found a partial skull. And she was toting the similarities. And that's why her dad was so into the case. And, you know, according to her at this time, I don't remember the exact days, but according to her, her father, that's why her father was so gung-ho on the case. And, you know, but to this point, there's still no definitive proof that he's the one that did it. It's just she was at over the top. So that was one thing I wanted to show you guys. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is more about what happened. So hold on. Oh, where is it? All right.
They are corrupt.
Now, I do want to let you guys know there's nothing to see because it's blank. But I do want to let you guys know this interview was done by JLR. You're going to hear some things that don't make sense. JLR took this totally wrong. Like, he went the wrong way with this. There were other things he could have done with it, and he just had no clue what he was talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. It is 30 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to kind of skip through it. But there is some interesting stuff in here about her dad.
Megan, how you feel?
But
I saw you, Megan, and I'm just dumbfounded that they came and took your child away today. Who was that?
it was DCF, it was CHS, Children Home Society, and it was the police. It's Eric Flowers, the sheriff, and Mike Dilks is the officer that started doing this to us over a year ago.
Yeah.
He was known for being a racist TikTok star and was disciplined and everything like 2.5, 3 years ago, and just got out of discipline or what, I don't know the exact facts, but it was known like all over the country about him and his wife making racist videos on TikTok while he's in uniform in the police car, all this kind of stuff. And he and the sheriff are best friends. He has done that's when the first thing they started April Fool's Day last year was illegally pulling me over with unmarked cars and him getting out. I have it all on video in his like street clothes. They just said that they're opening a criminal investigation on us because for hindering the removal when they were talking to us the entire time. And they said that we oh, sorry, Sophie, that we, used up resources and everything. Look, we used up resources. Guess what? They took my baby. Now they just left just now. I have a picture right outside. They had right across the street, they had a cop car and a SUV stay here until just now, the whole time after the removal, and all night last night, Jonathan. They came at 10 o'clock at night to take the baby. And then when we didn't let them, they had a police officer in an SUV and they took turns and they had them shining their high beams in my friend's backyard the entire night, harassing us. And then they go this morning at 8:45 and get an order on a false report saying that I had a baby and that it didn't have medical care. Jonathan, I was at the doctor yesterday with a clean bill of health. I have the documentation. They have no right to do this. Is stealing children, Jonathan.
I mean, this is your newborn. What was your daughter's name? What's your daughter's name?
I'm not telling anybody that.
But you had a daughter five days ago. You went to get medical care for her, and then they're acting this quickly. It just shows. What do you think this is about? Who do you think is like behind this? Why does this keep happening to you? Is your father involved?
It's my father. It's my father. He is running this town like a local mob boss with Eric Flowers. He's the one that got him into office. I have the text messages from a year ago, I don't know the time right now, but a year or two ago when my dad, I had an issue and he said, yes, here's Eric Flowers. He's about to be sheriff because I endorsed him. He'll help you. And I have his phone number, his cell in my phone from that. And now that my dad has done all of this, they're aiding and abetting him. I was already protesting against CPS corruption, so they're all targeting me, and they know me in town, even though they say they don't. There's a conflict of interest with the local GAL. They're all friends. And
all right, let me say first part number one. This is a very wealthy child. A woman who is from very wealthy parents. Can someone tell me why she's living with a friend with a brand new baby and doesn't have her own house? She's educated, she's articulate, she's well spoken. She can't get a job to pay for her own rent? Where's the father of the baby? These are all little clues that's like, what's up? Did she piss dirty? And that's why they came for her the second she had the baby or 5 days later. There's a couple of things with this that don't make sense. Just a few, but it just doesn't make sense.
And my father has been doing this. He, the pregnancy and everything. They're not fighting to return children. They're fighting to take children.
And I believe when you were at one of your prior court hearings, I did ask you, I said, do you think once your child is born that they'll come get her right away? And you said, yeah. You said that they'll find a reason to get her right away. And it seems like that's just happened now.
Yes. And it's not just me. This is a playbook, Jonathan, across our country. Mm-hmm. They're doing this and they're attacking single mothers and mothers while they're promoting a father's rights movement. And they're, I support healthy parenting, healthy co-parenting. I don't care, man, woman, whatever. But the problem with the father's rights movement, and DeSantis is very dangerous doing this, is that it is allowing the system and abusers to get hold of children and keep retaliating against mothers. And this is
okay. So that right there tells me she's not talking about the father. She's talking about father's rights, which would be the father of her baby, not her father. So that was another red flag that went up for me. And I did, maybe Ellie, I watched a few of them. So, is it the father trying to take her kid or is it her father? Because grandfather's rights have nothing to do with father's rights movement. Father's rights movement are not taking children away. I can tell you that right now. What father's rights movement has done has not gotten CPS to rip kids out of good homes and place them with the dad. Dad's rights will tell you that still hasn't happened in 2022. So now what does? Money. Money buys custody without a doubt. No matter what, money buys custody. So if she talks about her father, I 100% back her. But it sounds like she's talking about the father of her kids. Either that or she's just rambling.
This is not okay in this country. There are tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of parents and especially mothers fighting for their kids under these same playbooks. The same playbook.
And she's right.
It's so sick.
So,
And they have
what
Sorry.
happens now? Where is your daughter now? Is she?
They took her, they're going to take her to a hospital to get checked out. Like this is not thinking about the best interest of the children. Like children are supposed to stay with their mothers and DeSantis
Especially
was supposed
5-day-old children. This is a 5-day-old child.
Yes. Yes, and DeSantis was supposed to put stuff in place for the efforts are supposed to be offer every service and do everything in your power to keep the children in the home. And DCF told me today that I was hanging out with the wrong people, I was listening to the wrong people, and I needed to get help.
And they're basing this off what? How are they coming up with this determination? Who you are supposed to associate
Right.
and who you're
But
not?
do you hear how subjective that is?
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
and they're going by who? John?
Now, what JLR needed to ask her is why are you unfit? Why did CPS tell you you were unfit? Not keep feeding her ego. You have to ask why they were unfit. I couldn't believe he didn't.
John and his lawyers.
It's like the two of them, between the two of them, they both want to hear themselves talk. So neither one of them can get a good interview in because they both just want to hear themselves talk.
They said that they got a report last night, and that's a lie. It's it is my dad's lawyer and him calling in, just like the months ago when they came in and were going through the neighborhood like the Gestapo to hunt me down, a pregnant lady, and asking neighbors and knocking on doors. This is not okay.
So John made the report last night on you.
I'm assuming that it was him because I was told on the last report when they were knocking on the doors that it was my dad's lawyer and him saying that I was pregnant and that I had the baby. That's a false report. I was months away from having the baby.
So is John, is his goal at this point to get your new child?
Okay, she would never know who called in CPS. That's first of all. So that's a lie. Especially if there was a lawyer involved, she definitely would not know who called in CPS. Not in Florida.
And get full custody of your new child?
Well, you know what's even more gross is that he just took my other children to the Finger Lakes, knowing that I'm pregnant and knowing that they were going to take my child. So now my child will go into foster care if I don't find a family to shelter him that I know.
Wow.
See, if I don't find a family to shelter him, that doesn't make sense either. She would not be the one finding a family to foster him. That would be done through CPS. And why, like, here's the other thing. Does she have no family that could take her baby? If it was John Walsh that called it in, and I know John's old, but you would think that John and his wife would be able to find a home that she could, that could raise the baby if it was him. No grandparent, in my opinion, is going to rip a brand new baby away from their mom to put them in a foster system, especially one that has as much money as they do. I'm not buying that either. I'm not buying that they would go to, that the baby would be in foster care. I just don't.
Wow.
And I asked, the woman that I'm staying with, my dear friend, is a wonderful mother, wonderful woman. And I said, can she be sheltered here with Caroline? And they said, yes, but you're not allowed to live there then. So then I'll be homeless.
So, I feel your pain and your emotion. I can't imagine what a mother is going through to have their newborn, not any child, but their newborn that they just had. You're bonding with your daughter. You're
JLR, listen to me. You don't need to reiterate this stuff. You don't need to pound it in her head. Ask her a logical question, please. It's like you just want to hear yourself talk. Ugh, this shit frustrates me.
You're taking your daughter to get medical care, and they come and take your daughter away. Unbelievable. And
because the judge ordered it. That's what they said. The judge.
So I noticed in
and
your
then
video.
my lawyer said,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
My lawyer said, well, you didn't come to the hearing this morning. Well, this was the first hearing I had a lawyer.
Okay, that right there is huge, huge. And it is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. I don't care if you have a lawyer or not. If you have a court date, you go. You go, period. I have heard so many moms, and I've spoken to a lot of women who lost custody, and even some guys that lost custody. And I promise you that 90% of these judges do not even open up your case. They do not look at your file. They expect you to be in court. Period. End of story. No excuses. Doesn't matter if you have a lawyer. Doesn't matter what your lawyer tells you. Every single time my lawyer told me I didn't need to be there, I was there just in case. And he would look at me like, why are you here? I said, because I want to be. Because just in case, the judge can never say that I wasn't here. So I went anyway. Because my kid was worth fighting for at any cost. So when I hear people say, oh, I didn't go to court because I had the days mixed up. I didn't go to court because this. It is bullshit. You don't depend on a lawyer to show up for you. You make sure that you show up. I don't care what the excuse is. Unless you're in the hospital and you're dying and you physically can't go, you fucking make it to that court date. Because the judge has no idea who you are. Judge has no idea the situation. What the judge sees, are you here or not? Judge doesn't know you. Judge doesn't know your personality. Judge doesn't know your ex's personality, your dad's personality, anybody. All the judge knows is you have a court date, you respect the court, and you respect the judge, and you fucking show up. End of story. Done.
I've never been through this. I was told that my lawyer goes and represents me there, that I didn't need to go to the hearing.
So what was this hearing supposed to be about? In reference to your...
It was an emergency hearing. They came last night.
Okay, an emergency hearing, you fucking show up at court. I don't care if you have a lawyer or not. I'm telling you. And I can even say the same for Brad. Brad showed, except one time, Brad showed up at every single court date. Even if our lawyer said we didn't need to be there. It's, you fight for your kid, period. You just do. So when you have an emergency hearing, you don't depend on a lawyer if you think you're about to lose your child. Sorry, no excuse.
10 o'clock at night and said, oh, that's fine. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I said, we can talk tomorrow, and I would have given them the documentation from the doctor and everything. And at 11 o'clock last night, they text me a Zoom link saying, here's your...
Oh, yeah, nothing has changed on my feelings, Mona. Nothing at all. The guy is a narcissistic piece of garbage. And I do believe he is behind this, no doubt. But I'm giving both sides.
Court hearing at 8:45 in the morning. And then they put sheriffs out shining high beams in the house and everything all night long. The dogs barking, everything. It is such harassment.
Her excuses are pathetic. If you tell me that I might lose my kid, I will fucking walk to the courthouse. Even if I was up all night, if I was on drugs for 3 days, I will walk to the courthouse. I will hitchhike to the courthouse. I will get to the fucking courthouse, even if I had no sleep and I go in looking disheveled. I'm here, Your Honor. I'm here. No excuse at all.
Harassment. And Indian River County has been known for 40 years for being corrupt. This needs to end. This sheriff has been cheating on his wife with his 8-year-old son. He is, everyone, half the town is calling for him to resign. He needs to resign. And my father needs to be investigated. False reporting, Jonathan, is a 3rd-degree felony up to 5 years. And my dad now has, 3 counts? And that's not even if you did a count on each child.
So you're saying he keeps making these claims
Yeah.
to who's he claim? Is he making it to DCS or the?
And right there, John, JLR should have asked her, how do you know that it is your father? That's one thing I have not heard yet. How do you know definitively it's your father? Because, and maybe that comes up later, I don't know. Somehow I think we're listening to this whole half hour. But there's more to this, and he's not pulling it out as an I want to say interrogator, as an interviewer, and I really wish he would.
Local sheriffs.
Yeah, he's having his attorney and other people call because he's hiding. The coward is hidden for a year and not answered me. How does this man say that he loves his child and he wants the best for her and get help, but then you give her the silent treatment and steal her children, take her home, take her career, have her have to sell her car, do all of this and not even talk to her? Mr. John Walsh, I thought he.
Okay, now I would like to know the backstory behind all that, and he should have jumped in. What do you mean? What do you mean he took your house? What do you mean he took your car? What do you mean he made you sell this? Can you explain that a little more? Can you let us know? Like, ugh, I hate interviewers. And I'm not saying this against him. I'd say it against anybody. She's opening it up where you can be asking so many real questions to get the answers that we're all thinking, and he's not. And it's frustrating me.
He was so great and powerful, right? And so everybody, the father, whatever. No, he is doing this to me, and my mother is doing it too. And it's because I'm also speaking out against the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
What is his end game here? What do you think? What do you think his goal was trying to do here?
30s.
I've watched him do it to other women that his friends are with. They claim that the mothers have mental illness. They get the children taken to break the mothers, because then you are going to go crazy without your children.
Now, she is 100% right about that. That is the key father narcissistic in court. That's exactly what they do. So she's taken this from how narcissistic fathers fight in court. But is that because her narcissistic father is fighting her in court, or she's reading stuff and this is how narcissistic fathers fight? The reason why I'm saying it like that is her father is not fighting for the kids. And again, I find it very, very strange that her father, who's very outspoken, there hasn't been an article published about her. There hasn't been, court dates about her. The public is not following her. Just weird stuff that doesn't make sense. Thank you, Mo.
And they ruin these women, and they grab their chest to the authorities saying, we did all we can, we don't know what else to do, and they play the victim. It's narcissism to an extreme.
She's right.
It's abuse. It's so many things. It's domestic violence, and it's domestic terrorism. My father is a domestic terrorist, Jonathan. I'm saying it out loud. He is paid opposition and makes everyone think that there's these huge narratives and it's in the best interest of the public and it's in the best interest of children, and they are making so much money. They have full immunity. I mean, it is absolutely, while they get federal, my dad says all this stuff to then implement federalized policing and all these different things. I mean, it's unconstitutional. It's not okay. And now, because I speak out about the National Center and CPS and everything, now he's terrified and he's stolen my kids. I also think that there's a financial part of this. I think they had no money 2 years ago.
Okay, let me also say, didn't she say that her father took her kids 6 months prior to her speaking out, or am I wrong on that? So if you guys can help me out on that. I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that, but I thought I heard in another interview that her dad took her kids were removed 6 months prior to her speaking out. I might be wrong though.
except for in assets, and they put something in my inheritance that they want to get guardianship fraud. This is guardianship fraud and conservatorship fraud. And Florida is so sorry my words, but it's one of the highest states for guardianship and conservatorship fraud.
So what do you want to be happen?
Okay. I really don't think that her dad is broke and needs to take her trust fund back. I highly doubt that. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt that. He may have wanted to put a freeze on it due to everything that's going on. That's possible, but I really don't think that he's broke and he needs the money. Just saying.
What changes do you want to see happen? What is your next steps? What are you going to do? What are you going to do now?
I don't know, because I've been speaking out for a year, and the country, the people need to come together, and we need a lawyer. We need a good lawyer that will fight for what's right. We have done everything. I have a paralegal. I have everything that we will even do the work for the lawyer, but we just need someone to fight. And we need the people to come together and start realizing what CPS really is. It's not in the best interest of our children.
Okay, again, she's all over the place. Everything she's saying about CPS is correct. And CPS could be, like John Walsh could be holding the strings behind CPS. I totally agree with that. But there's more to this story. I don't know why he hasn't spoken. I have not been able to find one article on him or him speaking out on this. Nothing at all. So if anybody has anything, please let me know, because she keeps switching between CPS, her father. Like, I want to know, where are the fathers of her children? Because they technically get first right. Whoever fathered her children gets first right to the children. And even in Florida, even if they're high on drugs, as long as they go through a program, if they're abusers, as long as they go through a program in Florida, that's okay. They'll still give them custody. So where are the fathers?
And DeSantis just got from 7.5 last year to over $20 million this year, Jonathan. And there's every incentive to take children, and there's no monetary incentive to return children.
So, are they giving you a hearing? Do you have a hearing coming up? A new hearing?
Well, that's my point, Tommy. And as an interviewer, JLR needed to get it out of her, and he's not asking her any of the right questions. He's just reiterating the bullshit that she keeps spewing. And it's frustrating me. It really is.
I'm asking my lawyer now, who's not doing anything for me. She's, telling me again, I'm listening to the wrong people. I'm, all of this.
Is this a court-appointed lawyer? A court-appointed lawyer from Indian River?
Yeah. And the judge intimidated me into getting her, and then saying that if you take a court-appointed attorney, your motions, the problem is, Megan, is that you didn't go to law school, so none of your stuff is legal. I believe that you're mentally capable. He reiterated it and said, but you're not legally capable. So if you take a court-appointed attorney, I will have them refile, or they need to refile your motions, and I will rule on them in chambers. And as soon as I took the court-appointed attorney, Jonathan, the next day, he struck 24 of my motions. Since January, he's been on this case, and he has not entertained or given me a hearing on one of my motions. And then he grants emergency hearings for them to take my children out of state to the Finger Lakes until August, because my dad claimed it was a family tradition. I haven't been to the Finger Lakes since they held me hostage up there with my baby. I stopped going up there. That might have been their tradition. That's not my family's tradition. That's not me and my children. I was going no contact with my dad for 6 months before he did this stuff. And I was in contact with my dad.
That's where I got the 6 months from. It was right. That's where I got the 6 months. I knew I heard 6 months from somewhere.
but I wasn't seeing him in person because of the assault. That I can even send you pictures of the assault from my mother with the bite mark on my arm, my nose where I'm trying to heal cancer, bloodied because she scraped me with her claws while she's yanking my hair down to the floor while I'm holding my other baby. This was 2 years ago at Thanksgiving.
And that is the other thing, MJ. When she talked about this emergency hearing, was this before your court-appointed attorney or after? Because according to the flow of her story, this emergency hearing, she didn't have an attorney. And I don't know if she's mixing up the flow, but for someone that is so well-spoken and can flow things out, I do find it a little odd that she's bringing up the attorney now after the emergency here, or after the hearing. Well, you said before this emergency hearing that transpired this, you had an attorney, but that was a lie too. So you see what I'm saying? It's just exactly. She got the attorney after the fact, which means she didn't have an attorney during that first one. Is that what is wrong with her nose? No, there's something on her nose that I noticed in a couple of different places.
And I stopped contact with them at the advice of my therapist too, who actually had to stop seeing them because how crazy.
Okay, let me also tell you, no lawyer will ever tell you to stop seeing a therapist during a custody fight. Never gonna happen. I can tell you this. They can recommend you seeing one, but if you're already seeing one, they will tell you, point out blank, keep seeing them. Because there's no better credible witness than a shrink, a real, a well-respected shrink. They make the best witnesses on the stand to your state of mind. If you are in the right mindset, I can't think of the right word, in the right mindset to raise a baby, you definitively want to shrink. So I don't believe that part of a story either.
Crazy they were. And was helping me establish my life without them. And I was doing it for 6 months, and my dad would call so frantic about, oh, we want to see Ava, my daughter. They always target her. They're, you just let us have her for a night. Just let us see. I said, Dad, you and Mom need to get help. I love you, and I want to have a relationship with
Pam, I disagree. I think he's a raging narcissist. And I think he's a complete asshole. So there's that.
you. That's why I live in this town. But you need to finally get help. And my family had never been thriving more, me and my children, meaning. And then my dad couldn't take it because he's a psychopath, and he goes and does all of this stuff. And they were lining it up for like a year before, because I think, like I was saying, that they were having financial problems, and they got this woman, Rebecca Inman here, she has victims that have called the sheriff and let them know, and the sheriff ignores it and keeps going with this to aid and abet John Walsh in his crime. I mean, and God forbid John Walsh would be lying, right? That's not at all possible.
Do you think,
especially with everything coming out across the country about the National Center, about all of this stuff, databases and children and everything.
do you think John Walsh loves you?
At this point, that's
Who
not love,
cares?
this is severe abuse. And I was speaking up about the abuse to them. And this is also the point where 6% of women are believed when they report domestic violence, or children also. This is horrible. DeSantis actually technically has custody of my children right now, and he's ignored me.
So let me understand this. Okay, so a woman like yourself just had their newborn taken away. As they're taken away, do the police or CPS offer any services for you, like psychological?
Like, what fucking kinds of questions are these, JLR? You have this girl right here. You can get real answers. Who fucking cares if they offered her services? Find out why this happened. What is the backstory? Ugh, I get so frustrated.
help or medical help. You know, you just had.
Well, that's what because that's what they make money off of. That's what a case plan is. You know, they say, oh, we're taking the baby now, but you can fight in court. There's no fighting in court. These are not real courts. They are corrupt. They all work together. Even my court appointed attorney, just do the case plan, do the case plan. Then they keep extending the case plan. They never even had proof to do a case plan. And all they do is hide behind the judge's orders. Oh, the judge ordered this. The judge ordered this. The police.
Okay. This is where I lose respect for her for a moment. The judge is the grand poobah. Whatever the judge says is what they have to do. I know someone that was in a CPS debate, I guess. And when they went to court, like the judge looked at CPS and said, you guys did the worst job ever. And they had to answer to the judge. So for her to make it out like, oh, how dare the judge give the rules? The judge makes the rules. Like anything the judge says, they have to do. Period. End of story. That doesn't make her father corrupt in that sense. That doesn't make CPS corrupt in that sense. That is how our judicial system, even our juvenile judicial system, and our criminal judicial system and our civil, that's how the shit works. The judge makes the rules, period. End of story.
Also do it. The police are going and aiding and abetting CPS to do these removals, and they have no knowledge. You know, the false report, they should have looked at CPS and said, well, we need to criminally investigate now if this is a false report.
And I heard that today on your live. You know, I don't know who was with you. I heard a male voice, and they were asking them, you know what you're actually coming for? You know the details. And they didn't. They're just going by orders. So a judge just writes something down, says, come and, you know, take this child, and that's it. And they just do it, but they don't question it themselves of what they're actually doing.
Right.
You know, maybe, you know.
No, one thing I do know for certainty, Deb, that the judge makes all the rules. That is definitive. The judge makes the rules. CPS doesn't rule over a judge. A judge makes the rules. That is definitive. And no matter how you cut it, that is definitive. There's no seconding. There's no questioning that. That's what I said is definitive, and that is a fact.
You know, down the line, you know, authorities, you know, like law enforcement should, you know a little bit about details and question it instead of just going by what one person writes by using the stroke of their pen.
And that's the thing is that they, you know, there are real issues of neglect and abuse. That's undeniable. But you know what? That's why we have a criminal justice system.
But let me also tell you something else. A judge doesn't tell CPS to remove a child. A judge doesn't care that much. What a judge does do is a judge will take CPS or whoever, you know, cops, whoever's putting in the request, will look at the request and either honor it or deny it. So he'll either say, yes, there's reason to remove this child, or he'll say, no, there's no reason to remove his child. But there has to be a signed order from a judge. She's making it sound like, and JLR doesn't know any better, so he's not correcting her, that it doesn't work. CPS doesn't, I'm sorry, a judge doesn't call CPS like she's making it out. A judge doesn't call CPS, say, well, we have Megan Walsh here and we need to remove her child. And CPS says, oh, okay, we'll go there tomorrow to remove it. That's not how it works. CPS goes to the judge the next day and says, hey, we have reason to believe this child is in danger. Here are our reasons. Here is the proof. Here is the facts. Can we please get a warrant to remove that child and get him out of a dangerous situation? The judge says, give me the proof. He gives it to him. Yes, I agree with you. Signs it. They remove it. Sometimes judge will say, I don't agree with this. I don't think you have enough evidence. Either bring me more evidence or I'm going to deny it. So then it'll go on a couple more days and then they'll bring back more proof. No, I'm still not buying it. Give me more evidence. If they come back with evidence the judge buys, then he'll sign the order. It's it. It's that simple. DOJ is very corrupt. I totally agree with you.
And you do an investigation. And even in my case, to take my original 3 children, by law, it's required to do a 60-day investigation, and they did nothing. They did not do it. So that should be in.
Okay. DCF does not have to do a 60-day investigation with your child still in what they presume to be a dangerous situation. Any dangerous situation, they can get an emergency removal within 24 hours. If it's during the day, they can get it removed within 3 hours. It won't even take long. So it all depends on the day. If it happens on a Sunday afternoon, you probably got to wait till Monday. If it happens on Monday morning, odds are your kid will be removed by noon. So she's wrong there.
Default already. And you know what, we have that system, and if there's a criminal issue or there's a real issue of neglect or abuse, then that needs to be criminally handled and investigated, not just taking children under, this is because I am traditional, and this is because I homeschooled, this is every type of and I'm Christian and all this stuff. It's every type of discrimination. These are constitutional rights violations, civil rights violations, liberty right violations.
Also, I know you're going through a roller coaster of emotions. I want to let you know you do have lots of support out there and people that love you, Megan. Please don't do anything irrational or,
No, I never would.
It's your own child being taken away. Just surround yourself with positive people and fight how you feel you should fight, but don't give up. And don't feel like, you're hopeless in this situation. I know.
Okay, when did she say she was hopeless or giving up? I don't think those words ever came out of her mouth. Why is he even putting it in her head? I don't get him at all.
I can just see the pain and the emotions in your eyes. And I do want to share your story. I'm sharing your story because you want to get it out there of what goes on.
Yeah, Jonathan, I can't thank you enough. I really, for all of that you said, all of that heart. I really appreciate it, Jonathan. And, they want to claim mental illness.
That's what I said,
and I am still here over a year later of daily, from morning to night, harassment and threats and terror. My children not coming home, the legal abuse, they just passed stuff about legal abuse. And that's real. This has been absolutely abusive. We're supposed to have a justice system that's supposed to know the truth and stick to it. And no one's doing that.
Was this a warrant they came with today? Like an actual warrant?
Oh, well, but we don't, a judge's order, which is basically a warrant.
They didn't.
And they said they were going to knock down. They said they were going to knock down the door and use force and all of this. The chief of police was standing there just like a disgusting monster staring at my children. He's like, this is taking too long. And then they said they're going to, like I said, they're going to they've opened a criminal investigation because we hindered the taking of the baby.
Well,
when we have it on
video, I heard in the live was you questioning what they're doing and wanted answers, not hindering. And they were hindering would be blocking and barricading yourself in. Did they take anything? Did they take any clothing? Did they take any items?
They took 2 blankets because I wanted her to have my smell.
So are you concerned about how she's going to be treated right now?
Yes, and where she's going. I mean, this is sick, Jonathan. This is beyond. And this is happening every minute in our country. This is happening every minute. I am not a special case.
Okay, let me tell you something else too. If my baby was just taken from me, my point of arguing would be my child, not CPS. That would happen a little while later. That would happen if the courts tell me I can't get back my child. But you just had this baby. It was just taken from you the same day you did this interview. And all you keep talking about is CPS. How about talking about your baby? I don't know. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but I don't understand why she's not talking more about her child instead of CPS.
Yes, it's harder because of who my dad is, but because of the corruption, but that should be exposing it. This is a huge example for America, Jonathan.
Yeah, because, it's your father, John Walsh, and people, don't know what's going on behind the scenes and what's going on with his own family, and the situation that you guys are going through right now. And then
okay, again, Jonathan, as an interviewer, you can't make assumptions that what she's saying is the truth. I don't care if she's your best friend. You can't put it out there that what she's saying is definitive, because you don't know John's story. Unless you interview John, you just can't do that as an interviewer.
this has been going on how long? For about a year now?
Over a year. Over a year.
Exactly,
And in 2
Tommy.
weeks, they're trying to adopt my children from me.
Sad, sad. And, I just think, and we've talked before, it seems like this is over, his parental rights, the way you want to raise your own children, and
they also know that in Florida, there's no grandparents' rights.
oh, wow. So there's no grandparents' rights in Florida. Interesting. I think a lot of people have to know that, and should know that and everything like that. I'll keep communicating with you. I'll keep getting this message out. I'm going to get this out right now and share this, what's going on, our discussion here. And I will, let me know whenever the court date is. Hopefully I can, also help, get the message out so more people come to your court hearing for support and to bring awareness to what's going on. Just stay optimistic. It seems like somebody's with you now. Just surround yourself with people. Try to stay away from alcohol and drugs. I'm not saying you do that.
I don't drink. Yep.
But, just try to keep a positive mindset and just keep fighting. But don't give up hope, Megan. I cannot imagine. I have a cat, right? I couldn't imagine somebody coming and, taking my cat away from me. I don't have children. I have a cat, but I could not imagine
I love your cat, by the way.
outside entity taking away something, you're precious. These are your children. And these are agencies that
these are humans. These are babies. Like, this is not.
Okay, let me just tell you, that was another lie. Florida does have grandparents' rights. And I thought they did. That's why I looked it up. Florida doesn't have grandparents' rights when a child has been removed due to custody, or if the parent never let the grandparents see him to begin with. And they can't ask for extra time, but they most certainly have a right to see their grandchildren. So that's another lie.
On a job, like a boat or something. These are humans. They are taking humans. How are people not okay? Trump would talk about the country finding out everything about these judges and about these systems and about the stealing of our children.
Yeah. All right, Megan, we'll chat again. We'll chat again. Just stay hopeful. I am praying for you. I'm praying for people around you. I just stay strong. All right, Megan, stay strong. And we'll get this message out, and we'll continue.
I couldn't do it without you guys.
I call this an injustice. I do call this an injustice. I was at the court hearing. Remember when I was kicked out of the court? We were all kicked out. They didn't even let the public go in the court hearing to hear what was going on. They ushered John Walsh in, from a side door. He doesn't have to go through the front. It just seems like a lot of special treatment here. And
okay, that's not special treatment. It's called being a celebrity. He is a public figure. There's no denying this. She also showed up at the courthouse with a bunch of bikers. Was that intimidation tactic? Why would you show up with a bunch of bikers? So again, now that you guys heard both of this, I will send link in your email. Okay, Susan, please do. And if anybody has the video with the police, if you could send it to me, because I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere and I couldn't find it. And I know it's out there. I just don't know where it is. Exactly, Raquel. He's a 79-year-old, almost 80-year-old man who is a public figure and has been a very outspoken public figure. Do you really think he's going to walk through a bunch of bikers? Come on now. He's 80 years old. No, some states don't have grandparents' rights. But if my child had been taken, the last thing I would do is... Thank you. I agree, Shandi. Totally agree. Tommy, there's no proof of that, though. It is on Facebook, Huck. Where? Can you post a link, Huck? Yeah, the one where they take the kid. I haven't seen the video yet. I mean, I saw like a bit of it, but I can't listen to the person that was showing it. He's worse than JLR. So I was like, oh, hell no. I figured it would be on Twitter, but it's not.
I'm leaving.
What?
I said I'm leaving.
Where are you going?
Hanging out with my friend.
All right, well, have fun. Who? Who are you going out with? Oh, he just leaves. She's never tested positive for drugs or alcohol. It's being said she has a mental health issue. Yeah, but lots of people with mental health raise kids. I mean, hell, look at half this community. They have kids. How can you post the link? Put it in Discord? Or anybody? If anybody knows where that is. Susan, which email did you send it to? What email did you send it to? I just found out about it today. One of Molly's supporters keeps hitting up my work email. I don't know why. It's someone that's very insecure, I'll tell you that much. Because she keeps writing the same thing over and over and over. Okay, nobody cares.
Says that the baby has to go to ICF today.
He saw nothing. The judge saw nothing.
I wasn't there. I don't know anything about the case.
Well, why don't you guys leave it up to DCF? I just talked to
DCF
Tiffany.
is right here.
I understand, but I talked to Tiffany, the CPI,
Yeah.
and she said that we can. I said, please, let's work together.
Mm-hmm.
And can you all have an obligation by law to keep us together, offer services, come in the home, do whatever. But by law, they are supposed to first and foremost, family first. Sunshine law, you guys know this. This is my 4th and 14th Amendment being violated, sir.
But here's the thing. I cannot leave here today without your child.
But if this is a fraud report, then that is criminal.
If it's a fraud report,
it is.
Listen to me. If it's a fraud report, you can deal with it down the line.
But my baby's separated then with a system.
I understand.
This is a national issue, sir, and you know that.
I don't know anything about your case, ma'am.
No, I'm talking about.
I didn't even know you were John Walsh's daughter.
I'm glad.
I had no idea.
God forbid John Walsh would be lying. God forbid.
He's right. They have no idea.
This is by law. You are supposed to keep us together. A 5-day-old baby in a system with strangers when I am here. Well, this is a fraud report. I have the documentation. I've done nothing wrong.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'll bring DCF up here. You'll talk to him. You're going to have to turn the baby over to DCF.
This is sick.
One way or the other. And listen to me. You can work with them.
That's what they're obligated to do, sir,
Yes.
is to keep the baby, do everything in their power to keep the baby. That is severe abuse to remove a baby from primary care.
Right.
It is.
Okay.
That is their obligation as a service and to the people.
Right. I have a judge's order, okay? I don't want to have to force my way in.
No, you would not ever have to do that. Please stop
But
threatening that.
But here's the bottom line. I can't be out here all day.
I understand that, but this is my baby.
I completely understand.
This is my child.
Yes, I understand.
They have stolen my other 3 children. Everyone knows that.
I don't know anything about any of that, man.
That's it. That's ignorant to say, sir, because this is a small town.
You said you recognize me, but I don't know who you are.
I thought that you were a different officer. I'm sorry at first through a window. I apologize.
You might know Captain Consuelo. That's all right. No, I'm not.
This cop is nothing to what she says it is. She made it out like this cop was rude and arrogant and was a total dick, and this is not at all. Totally not at all.
It was a mistake, sir.
That's fine. I understand you're upset.
And I'm very calm for what's going on. This is just fundamentally and in truth.
Yeah,
This is
you're doing
fraud.
fantastic.
This is fraud.
Okay.
It's criminal. I want to make a police report
Okay.
right now, please.
But this is all for the cop is clueless. He just got a letter saying, go get this child. There's nothing he can do. She's like pleading with this cop who can't do anything.
We will. You're going to make a police report, and we'll take your statement, and we'll put it in there, and then you can work with DCF, whatever you have to do to try to get your child back.
You know that doesn't happen. They're trying to adopt my other children under fraud.
Well, like I said, I don't know anything about any of that. I don't know anything about that.
Please, you all do the right thing. This is humanity.
The DCF will take care of your child, and they will work
No,
with you.
I am terrified. Anyone will be terrified. Your child, you put and taken to a foster home when this is fraud and you've been harassed for a year. You would not be okay with this, sir. You would do everything.
Yes, but I will take it through the court system, which is what you're already doing with the other children, is what you explained to me.
On a fraud case.
Yeah, but I don't know that. I don't know any of the facts in the case,
I
man.
understand.
I don't.
I understand, but you have to listen.
I am listening to you.
I know.
I am listening to you.
We're supposed to all do everything to protect children.
Listen, I understand you're upset. I understand.
I'm terrified.
I know
This
you
is
are. I can
not.
see that.
It's not okay, and it keeps going on.
We will.
Everyone knows that this is fraud, and this is retaliation from my father. Everyone knows that,
Okay.
sir.
And
Across this country,
we will take a statement from you, and that will be in our reports.
we filed in federal court already.
Okay.
This is very serious, and the sheriff's department got a notice of liability. They have a notice of liability from me and through federal court.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
You gotta dig a little
Well,
deeper.
can we look into
You
that,
gotta start
please?
digging,
Because
man.
This should not be
No,
happening.
I can't right now. I'm here for this specific incident.
But this applies to it, sir.
Okay, if the sheriff's office had something, they would know about it. So I'm not buying this, and I don't think the cop is buying it either.
It's what, sir? What's going on?
I just want to resolve this same piece.
I do too. I do too.
I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to force the door. I don't. Please.
I know. Please don't.
Yeah, but then all you have to do is open it. And DCF is right here. We're not.
I don't trust DCF.
How
And
could you
it's
trust
my
that? They already took our other
child.
No, I
kids.
understand that.
And taken to strange doctors that testified against me and put in a foster care. Would you want that for your children?
No, I would, but again.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So DCF had doctors charge her or go against her or something. So there were doctors that went into court and stated what they said about her, which is why she lost her other children. Now we're getting somewhere. Now things are starting to make a little more sense.
And if it's a false report, when you know you have documentation that you can give to them.
Yeah, you're going to have to, unfortunately, fight that in court.
But that doesn't protect, that doesn't save my
Have
child.
an attorney?
I got a court-appointed attorney because of the legal abuse, and she's done nothing.
Okay.
She's not fighting for my children, and I'm recusing her today.
All right.
Nobody wants to touch the case, man. Now you know.
Because of
Now
my
you know why.
father.
Now you know.
Why isn't DCF talking to her, though? That's what I don't understand either.
We're going to have, how are we going to resolve this?
I told them they can come in. I will give them the reports that the baby's fine. They can offer me services. I'm willing to work with them, but they need to keep my baby with me. That's by law. They're supposed to make every effort to keep the child with the parent.
That is true, though. She's not wrong there. They are supposed to do that.
Lord Jesus. They can come up with this stuff. This is mental illness.
All right. Here's the thing. This order, like I tried to explain to you, I understand your frustration. I understand your hurt.
No, my child. I'm protecting my child. And I have the documentation. I understand that there's an order, but if I have the documentation, and I was never notified by my lawyer this morning, nothing. And she should have contacted me and asked me for the documentation. I have it, so that should null and void.
My personal opinion, I could be wrong, but here's my personal opinion. My personal opinion is that she was never supposed to have this child, and the child was supposed to be taken away at birth. And for some reason they didn't, and now they came to get her a couple of days later. That's what I think went on. I think it was she failed, like the hospital failed or something to take him away, so that's why it's 5 days later. That's what I honestly think.
Who's your lawyer?
Jennifer Hickson.
Yeah, she has a front door. She's not opening it. I wouldn't either.
Yeah, I tried to text her.
Can one of you guys call her?
Yeah, I tried to text her, and I want to do this right, sir. I'm not trying.
I know you do, but here's the problem. I mean, at some point. I was just told your attorney was in court this morning for this.
And did not notify me before. And
Not for nothing, but a lot of breastfed kids are malnourished. Like, for real. But we just saw that baby. She doesn't look malnourished. Or he.
did not get any of my
You
evidence.
have the phone on you right now?
It's in the back. I can get it. Yeah, thank you. Yep, I can show you even my text messaging her. Everything, sir. I'm not lying here.
No, I'm not saying you are, ma'am, at all.
I'm a very good person, and I'm an amazing mother. My father is retaliating against me, and this is fraud. You are supposed to protect and serve. Eric is my sheriff, too, and my
We
children.
protect and serve every day. I don't know anything about your case.
I'm
All I
telling
know-
you,
I know you're telling me.
and everyone's here and telling you that.
I know they are.
Hmm?
That's what you're telling me. I don't have the evidence to your case.
I
don't know what-
can present them with the documentation. I'm even
not-
saying
I'm
that.
not a judge, ma'am.
I understand.
Beanie, that's allegedly. That's only out of her mouth. There's no proof. I hear a lot of, I have proof, I have this, I have that, but she didn't. She doesn't show proof of anything.
I'm the watch commander. We have an order. If the child needs to go to DCF, and this order has to be.
What about
Okay, and in all fairness to the police, I'd be fucking aggravated too. I mean, they have other things to do, and there's like 12 of them there. They don't want to be sitting there. So I don't doubt it.
that's criminal, though? It's criminal because it's a false report. Don't you have to take that over?
That's what you say. I don't
No,
know.
I'm asking.
I don't know anything about the case.
If I have
Yeah, according
documentation,
to
the
her.
claim is.
Just a little bit.
I try-
can't-
yeah.
Sorry, the window is.
I think it's, pardon me, the sign.
I have the documentation that she was seen by a doctor.
So then show it.
Is false.
But you gotta understand, I'm not a judge. I can't make that decision.
Show DCF the documentation.
The laws that we enforce, and there's laws on the books. I can't.
But the Constitution, these are violations of my amendment rights. My rights, my given rights. This
Now
is
they
my
got
child.
fire rescues here too. Wow.
You're being upset, and I really appreciate you coming to the window and talking to me.
Because I am trying. I have worked with them. They have made up these claims.
I agree,
against me.
Coffee. They really
continue
do.
to fight to take my children and are ignoring this to retaliate with my father.
Okay.
This is known. I swear on my life,
Ma'am,
sir.
I don't know any of that.
Well, it's all over the country.
It's all over the country.
It just isn't local here.
They're all gonna come here and come to you. The sheriff has already even been called.
Who's gonna come to me? I don't understand.
No, my support and everything. People know across the country, and this is very wrong.
Okay.
This is aiding and abetting John Walsh in crime.
I'm not aiding and abetting anybody in a crime.
By going along with it, it is.
Ma'am, I have a order signed by a judge that it's my duty to make sure this order is carried out.
It is also your duty to have discernment and to protect.
I can't have discernment with an order like this. I do protect. I protect and serve every day, ma'am.
Taking babies, sir.
I am not.
Yes, you do. You aid in taking
No, I am
babies.
not.
I think this police officer deserves an extra star because he is extremely patient.
And that's disgusting. I went to my private doctor yesterday.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand why DCF isn't talking, or they keep saying, oh, I have proof. Then fucking show the proof. Show DCF your proof.
So.
My baby is beautiful
But there is
and healthy, sir.
Yes, your baby is.
She has a clean bill of health from the doctor.
What is your baby's name?
I don't feel comfortable giving that information without my lawyer, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
I'm sorry. I just don't know what
The
to
little
say or
girl,
not.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I've just been informed that since you're aware of this order, that your child is should be in the custody of DCF, and right now you're interfering with child custody.
No,
So
I'm not. I'm just trying to
I'm
do
just
what's
trying to
right.
explain to you, I don't want to see you go to jail. I want
No,
this
oh
resolved.
my God,
I want
what?
this resolved peacefully. And I just
You're threatening to take me to jail?
no, I did not threaten you. I didn't threaten you. I
Well,
said
I'm
I don't
asking.
want to see you go to jail because right now they're saying with you not turning the baby over with this order and you're aware of it, it could be interfering with child custody.
You know that I'm not doing that.
I know you're talking to me,
You know I'm not doing that.
but I can't stay here all day and talk to you. You have to resolve
But this is a child's life, sir.
your child. We're not going to harm your child, man.
No, you're gonna take her, and then you're gonna go. Then they go along with my father in DCF. Did they call Jennifer?
I agree, Sissy. She does absolutely nothing to help herself. Totally agree.
What did you say?
So here before this goes any further, if you could just open the door and I can have DCF come in and talk to you, and they're gonna have to take your child.
Sick. I can't believe you guys do this.
Ma'am, it has nothing to do with me. I don't know anything about your case.
Then as a human, you should stand up as a man and a father. Megan, I'm sorry. I'm just, it's right. I thought by law they're supposed to keep my child with me in every way possible.
No, if a judge orders your child
This
to be
is-
taken from you, so please, I'm
And,
running out of
and
time.
like you
I'm
said,
really running out of time
like you
because
said, you can fight it in court now.
yes, please.
That's what I did last time, and they're trying to adopt my
Right.
children. You guys, once you let the children go, you never see them again.
They're going to break my
There's
DeLorean
more
for the
people.
No,
here. There's
no.
more people here. If you cooperate now, it's just going to be very easy. Please, I'm running out of time.
Man.
Please trust. Listen, you have
I
to.
can't trust. They've stolen my other three children.
Me. I'm going to promise you nothing's going to happen to your child. I promise you. I give you my word.
They take them, and you don't see anything.
You don't know what happens after that,
You
though.
don't know.
Right?
They already took him to Dr. Walters, and the attorney told me and asked for his deposition because he frauds cases. The own attorney, Alexis Echeverry, here in town.
Can you just please open the door because I'm running out of time. I really am.
And I can't,
You don't want to get caught in the middle of
I
this,
know.
please.
Okay, let me just see. I thought that they called my lawyer.
Please, ma'am.
Did they call my lawyer,
Yes, they
sir?
did.
And what
We're done
happened?
waiting. We're done waiting, please. Please.
They're gonna come in anyway.
Recording this.
Yeah, I've been online the whole time.
No, and I agree with you, Let's Go, but the point is, there's nothing the cop can do. No matter how much she argued, like, ask to speak to CPS. Show your proof. She's not showing any proof. She's just running her mouth. That's why I lost respect for her.
No, you said that they were going to come.
They are. I have DCF coming.
I'm cooperating.
Yes,
Please,
you are.
you promised
Yes.
that they were coming in and I
They
could
are.
talk with
They
them.
come right now.
You said I could talk with
Yes, ma'am.
them.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, here's Dilks.
No, he's been here the whole time. He wants in here so bad.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Where's Brooke? Can I please speak with you?
I know my thing.
No, Dilks is on my NOL. This is not. He should not be
Okay,
here.
So can we
I do
please?
not feel okay with.
Now, let me tell you the biggest red flag for me, and I don't know if anybody else has it. Not once in the last 15 minutes has she asked why are they taking her kid. So she damn well knows they're taking her kid. Thank you, Last Life. She knows damn well they're taking a kid, and not once has she asked why are they taking my kid. So that is a huge red flag for me. She knows why they're taking them, and she knows why she doesn't have a right to take them. And thank you so much, Last Life. Super chats always appreciated. Cash App, PayPal. Jenny's been dropping the link.
Being here.
He's leaving.
He should never
I know.
be here.
He's got like a hard on for this case.
That's all right. He's gone.
Yeah, okay.
So now let's resolve this peacefully, please.
I talked with Tiffany, and there's an obligation to keep us together. She's 5 days old, Brooke.
Look at these two.
I have the documentation. You all came last night and said that you would talk to me today, and we cooperated. I have the documentation from the doctor. They
So
sent
show
me
it.
my email. She was just there yesterday. That's a false report.
Okay.
That is a false report, and I will work with you all. We can do services, but you cannot separate a 5-day-old baby from its mother.
I understand, but unfortunately the judge has already ordered it.
You all should have come, like you said
You
today.
guys, like-
You said that you were going to come talk to me.
How do you guys do this job, man? This is horrendous.
You know this.
Take your.
I'm sorry, Megan, but it was
Brooke.
already ordered by the judge. So
And I have not abused my baby. I'm not anything.
Where's the
I'm a
proof?
good mother.
I know.
There's no probable cause. You have no probable cause.
Kid's been on the plan for 5 days. How's their abuse?
Seriously.
I understand, Megan, but I
5
can't go against
days.
the judge's order. But he did say he'd like to see you this weekend if you can come in, so we can have another hearing.
Well, why don't we regroup
But
then?
my baby should stay with me.
Yeah.
Think about a 5-day-old baby going with you all to these doing all of this. That's not right.
Right?
And I have the documentation from the doctor. Complimented how beautiful she is and healthy and what a good mother I am.
Okay. Unfortunately, I can't change the judge's order, so they're just here to follow the judge's order. I'm just here since you know.
Why did you all do this and go to the judge when you said that you were going to talk to me? You never even got documentation or anything. I have the documentation. That was wrong.
Okay.
That's illegal to go and do that.
Well, that wasn't my decision. That was what was put in motion. But again, I sent you the information so you could be on there.
And I was not notified by my attorney, and I have an attorney.
Fidgeting
And
with
she
your phone.
never called for my documentation, nothing to represent me.
Who are you talking to?
Have you not spoken to her today?
No.
Okay.
I tried to text her. I can show you.
But no.
Thank you,
She
sissy.
just texted me about that there's an order.
Operation Warp Speed. Doesn't make any
I
sense.
have everything, and I'm filing an injunction as we speak. We have to work together. We have to work together. This baby needs to stay with its mother.
I understand what you're saying, but unfortunately the judge has already ordered it. So
It's what they say. That's just
She's a
like
robot.
the-
She's a robot.
Yeah.
She's brainwashed. She's a robot. Look at her.
All right. So we've made it this far. So here's the order. Okay? There's the order. You can have that. But you're gonna have to file, and we're gonna have to turn the baby over to TCF. That's the only way this is gonna end.
This is so evil, you guys.
I know it's tough for you, but you're gonna have to do it. Okay? I don't want this to go any further.
I don't either.
And I want you.
I want my baby
There's your
safe.
order. Yes, your baby is. DCF is going to take care of your child. Listen, you go, you
She'll
file
never
your
see that kid
injunction.
again.
Okay? You file your injunction and you get in front of the judge this week and see what the judge says. And we'll
It's
go
a
from
week
there.
away. The best
Is it
interest
this
of a
week?
child is to be with its mother.
Okay, tomorrow? Is that?
Now, I will say, I definitely agree with whoever's narrating this. Where's the proof that there was abuse? A 5-year-old baby, where's the proof? Where's the doctor report? Like, this part I don't get. It doesn't make sense. And thank you to Dayton's friend who donated $2. But where's the evidence? You can't just say someone abused them without evidence. Where's the evidence? I don't know. A 5-day-old baby, if there's proof of alleged abuse enough to take a child, yeah, something's not right.
Tiffany said that they would talk with me to find a placement so it's not a foster home.
Okay.
Tiffany said that to me on the phone.
Okay.
And she said that you guys would work with me to not have this happen that way, you know?
Yeah, at least work with
There
her a
has
little
to,
bit. There's
you
got to
know,
be a
we need to protect
resolution.
this
There's got to
child.
be something.
It's not...
I mean, really, guys. I mean, you think about.
Oh, he's filming it? Oh, I thought he was, like, just a narrator. I didn't know he was physically there.
The
We're
baby's
not trying to
5
be
days old, and you're
defiant.
going to hand
We're
it
not
over to
anything.
somebody away from her mother this quick. It's like.
I've explained it to you already.
I know.
You're
but-
not even.
You could give us
like,
names and numbers.
I know. I'm just.
You're not involved in it, but
I'm just throwing the common sense
I know.
out there. I just would like to see her keep her kid for another day until they
can't
go in front of
happen.
the judge.
It can't happen.
All right.
And we're running.
All right.
The clock is ticking. So please, I beg you. And then you.
I'm
And then you
begging you to.
I know I can't. I have a judge's order, ma'am. Okay.
This is...
I know it's hard.
This is sick. This is like truth versus he has no idea.
You're gonna have to counterfile. That's all I can tell you.
But it doesn't protect my baby.
Your baby will be protected. I give you my word. Okay. I trust
You've
this
already
lady.
taken my 3
I know, but I
children
trust her. I
fraudulently.
trust her that your child will be fine. I trust her that your child will be
My
fine.
children are being abused, and your sheriff's department even went and did wellness checks and ignored it.
Okay, ma'am, I don't know anything about that.
I'm telling
I didn't
you,
know
can
you.
look at reports.
I didn't know you till today. I don't know anything about
Sorry,
your case.
excuse me. This is my lawyer.
Okay, you talk to your lawyer,
Yes.
and then we'll go
Okay.
from there. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
All right,
Absolutely.
okay.
Hello. Hi, Jennifer. I've been trying to text you. Well, I didn't know that it was shelter, and you didn't notify me this morning. They came last night, and they told me that they were going to talk to me today. I have the documentation from the doctor. This is a false report. She was just at the doctor yesterday with a clean bill of health, Jennifer. She can't be separated from her mother. They're supposed to do everything they can. I will do so. I will let them check on us. Anything. Why didn't you fight for it? That this is a false report.
I wish I could hear the lawyer better.
Jennifer, why did you not tell them that this is fraud, or that you have not? Why did you not fight for this to protect my baby? This is about the baby. But I didn't hear one thing from you, and I was told that if I have an attorney, not to. I was told that I had an attorney.
Thank you, Debbie. I don't know why the music isn't going. No, it's not her mom.
That I had an attorney, and I wasn't supposed to, because you were supposed to fight for my children. I've been there for everything. I would have been there. Yes. And a baby needs to stay with its mother, you know. This is about the child. Are you gonna fight for us? I mean, you haven't really done anything, Jennifer.
The baby doesn't look malnourished.
I never received a phone call from you at all, Jennifer, to advise me.
You can hear that, Tommy?
I can't believe you didn't stop that over a 5-day-old baby, Jennifer.
Volume's as loud as it can go.
You could have called me this morning and said, you have a hearing. Do you have documentation? Yes, I do. That's your job, Jennifer.
I've
never done this
what
before.
I'm saying,
I'm very
Poodle.
sorry. I have never done this before, and I was told that I needed to be notified by my lawyer. No, they ambushed me on that day.
Thank you, Luke. Are you another one of Dayton's friends?
Well, excuse me.
How much is the game?
Will you file that injunction that I will send you?
Dayton's friends are all donating to me buying him a game.
You're not helping me either, Jennifer. I'm sorry. Well, I know that this is fraud, and I know the truth of the situation. Yes, all the allegations are fraud, and the report was that the baby had not seen medical care when she just did yesterday, with a full, clean bill of health. I didn't know. I've been at everything. I've done everything for over a year. Albeit anything. I thought I had an attorney finally. I've never been through court with an attorney or anything from criminal to DCF. No, for this type of a situation. I did not have representation then. Yes, and I didn't have an attorney yet at that time.
Hey, Luke, $60 game. We got to do more than $2.
Oh. Yeah. It's Jennifer.
Jennifer? Jennifer. Yeah, Lieutenant Savita with the Sheriff's Office. Hi. She just needs to peacefully turn the baby over to PCF. That's all we're asking. And she's let us in. We're talking to her. And then she needs to resolve it with you, and you guys need to take care of whatever you have to take care of. So, I mean, that's where we're at. We're here. We have the judge's order, and I don't want it to go any further than this. I just want her to peacefully turn the baby over so we can get out of here, and she...
Hey, Chrissy.
Okay.
I want to change her before you take her diaper and stuff.
Can they go with you for changing?
Huh?
Can
One of us is going to go with you.
We gotta go. We got one law enforcement officer and her. Unless you change her right here. Okay?
I don't want to give my baby
I know
away.
you don't, but you have to. It's not giving you away. It's just a DCF. And then you fight it with your attorney.
My other 3 children for a year told me that they were going to give them back. Even the judge said
you want to tell her if you... You want to talk to her real quick because we're getting to the end here.
At me?
Ma'am. Lou. Yeah. Can you do? We just want to end this thing. We just want this to be over with. Can you just please ask her to turn the child over to DCF? Sure. Hello.
Hi, Megan. I'm a supervisor with case management. And I just wanted to talk to you. If that's
I really
that's what
would
I'm saying, ma'am. That's what I'm
appreciate
saying.
that. Instead of all
I
this
understand that.
intimidation
There she is.
over a baby.
hold on, wait a second.
Hello.
Sorry.
That's
Hello.
your attorney. She's telling her now.
You're supposed to protect this baby.
Can you get whatever she needs to change her? You know, when you find her baggage, you can change the baby and then we can get out here.
Should have never happened.
Pardon me? She's not going to do
And why didn't we do something then?
Oh, absolutely, Poodle.
No, I hadn't had the baby. When we spoke, I can't, sorry. There's a lot going on, Jennifer, I'm sorry.
Ain't that the truth?
No, I was probably talking to Dayton Safari.
You kind of have to come up and talk, and we'll figure it out. Okay.
You can tell her who I am.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer.
I'm another supervisor in the office with Brooke. And at this time, there was court this morning at 9:30 where the judge did rule that, the child will be sheltered. So as of right now, the child is in the department's custody.
It's a fraud report, though. The baby was just at the doctor yesterday.
I understand your concerns as far as the child was born, you've taken her to the doctor, the first 5 days of her life, there's that documentation that the doctor reported that you're saying that you're taking good care of her. I'm not gonna argue that.
Why isn't she showing the proof? If the baby went to the doctor, just show the proof. She refuses to show him the proof.
No, you're fine. But this time, I'm just saying the court ordered that the child be sheltered. I know you don't want to do that. I understand your attachment, and she is your mother. You are her mother.
It's for the baby. She needs to stay with her
But at this
mother.
time, there's no way to overturn that. So my suggestion and my request to you, and I know this is a terrible request to make to you at this time, is if you could please cooperate with us so we can make this situation and try to turn it around for the best of you and your.
No, Candy, she's right. A lot of foster parents do it for the money. Or if they get food stamps, they get money. They don't do it for the love of a child. That's what I'm saying. There is no proof. Like, show the fucking proof.
And I want to, and I have cooperated, but you all have not cooperated with me at all. You have not at all. This whole year, it's been attacks and harassment.
Hey, Tinker.
And keeping my children with my father.
That case, I just want to talk about your baby girl right now because I don't like all of this. I don't like that.
I don't either. This should
Everything is
never
put
happen.
into here. So all I'm asking for is your cooperation. If you
They
want
told
my
me
number,
yesterday they were going to talk to me today, and I would have given them.
And that is true. Once the court order is given, it doesn't matter, but they would still take the baby, but it would give her a bigger right to stand on to go back to court the next day. If that was me, I would walk into the courthouse the next day. I wouldn't take tomorrow or a week from now. I would do it the next day.
The documentation.
if you want my phone number so you can check in with me and ask how she's doing, and I can send you pictures throughout the day. But unfortunately, Megan, at this point, you have to hand over the baby.
I don't want her going to a foster home. Tiffany said
do you have anybody that we could do home studies on? Anybody that we could look into?
Well, Caroline's she's a mother and a wonderful woman.
I just raised 4 kids. My
and
last one graduated.
we can do services. We will work with you, and we can
So,
stay together.
so there is an option. We can always look into people that you give us names. That's the whole process. If you give us names of like 50 people, hey, this is who we want you to look into for possible placement of my baby girl. She's willing to supervise the visits. We can do that. You just have to supply that information to us.
For a week or days, you have my baby with strangers and being passed around. This is a small, beautiful baby.
Not necessarily. You're making assumptions without asking the process.
You're right. I've never been through the process,
fine.
and I know that you take them to Dr. Walters, which I've already been asked. That's where my children went before. And I'm saying what happened.
As to this baby is going to be taken to the hospital to look at by a doctor.
That's sick. She just went to the doctor yesterday. I don't want my child exposed to this.
We're going to take her to the hospital to have looked at, and then we're going to report back to you. But in the meantime, if you would like her to be a possible placement option, then please give the information to Brooke or to Sierra so they can start running the backgrounds and starting that process. And we can look into her as a possible placement option.
They were supposed to help me with my other children, and they didn't. This is hard to trust.
I
hope you
cannot,
understand
and I
that.
completely understand that. I do not know the information in regards to your other children. All I'm trying to do is de-escalate this very, very crazy situation right now, and very heartbreaking situation.
It is, and you all are listening to John Walsh, and this is fraud. I have a federal case.
Yes.
Thank you. I have a federal case open about this.
Okay, we're not getting anywhere here.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're gonna have to turn the baby over.
So,
Yeah, that's the bottom
Period.
line. So why don't you change the baby, please?
Oh my God, you guys are sick. Hello? They're telling me that there's an order and they have to take the baby and they're going to use force if I don't. Okay. Okay, you're on speaker. There's a deputy. Caroline, could you hold this please so they can hear? If you can give, that's my ADA, my ADA advocate. But I need you to listen. Francesca, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, number one, are you actually looking at an order? Are you looking at a warrant? Are you looking at an affidavit attached to a warrant? And is there an ink signed signature not a stamp?
Did you give the order?
Ma'am, this is Deputy Chief Rich at the Sheriff's Office. We have the signed court order from Judge Meadows.
Why are you
Yes, it
looking
is.
at my baby's
And-
privates and stuff on?
Okay,
I mean,
well,
like, why are you over it? Like, I'm not saying you're looking at
I'm just
my
want you to do your thing.
Yeah, but it's like,
She's gonna get that.
you know what I mean? Like, you know.
I can't even believe you would
I'm not being disrespectful to you.
Well, you're over my shoulder to look down there. Like, I'm not doing anything. That's all.
No, I'm not. I didn't say doing anything wrong.
I just meant, I'm in trauma, sir, right now, and I just meant that,
Okay, well, I'm
you
not gonna
know,
argue this with you over the phone so that you can have a nice day.
Wow. That's my ADA advocate, sir.
Yes,
That's
Karma.
federal. That's federal, sir.
It can be universe. I don't care.
Aw, baby's so cute.
Can you answer, or who is that calling?
And that's everyone who lives in the home?
Yes. Okay. And Megan.
Honey, I love you so much. I love you.
Yeah, she had skin cancer on her nose.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Esther. God bless you. God bless you, sweet baby.
Aw, she's so cute.
So much. God bless you.
He wasn't. He was just looking over her. She's a very cute baby.
Can you, ma'am? I know you are. I know it's
Would
tough.
you like, can I take her? Would you like her on that blanket?
Yeah, I just don't want to be too hot. I was sweating
Okay.
and stuff, so I'm
Do you
just
want
worried
her
about
to
her
take the
temperature. Yeah, you can take the. I love you so much. This is so evil.
Would you like me to take that blanket too, or just this little one?
Yeah, because it probably smells like. Please keep that with her.
Okay, you give it to me.
Where's the other blanket so we can take it? Cause it's wait, I want to walk out with you, please. Don't just walk out when I'm trying to get a blanket.
Oh, I thought you had it.
No, she was getting it. Thank you.
Go ahead, bud. No, I'm good.
She needs to be with her mother.
You can stop right there. You have
What?
no involvement in this.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You can stop right there. You have no involvement in this. You have no relation to that child or anything like that. You are simply a friend to her, and that's as far the extent you can go.
You can record right there all you want.
We're all recording. We've been recording this.
He's cute.
Okay. I'm just giving you instruction.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate it.
Good point, Lumpy Space.
You're welcome.
This guy's hot.
Looks like we can get a lot of rain.
He can arrest me.
Yeah. All right.
What's up?
So we're gonna get a lot of rain.
I think so.
Yeah. We need it.
He's awkward though.
That's my son, honey.
Okay.
I'm gonna pour that.
Okay.
And the red Corvette?
Yeah, the orange one. Just so you know, he doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, can you like get upstairs?
I think he's already gone.
No, he never left.
He doesn't have to.
No, whatever. He's got a hard on for this case. That's fine. It's all good. I get it.
I don't think there's anything personal in this whole thing.
Well, you can just tell by people's, body language that there's certain people or certain people are more interested than others. That's all.
I think it's more of the fact that we've kind of wasted like 8 cups times here.
You
for
just missed
4
Dilks, like,
hours.
He wouldn't let me come out. They cop.
He just told me off, and I don't care. You did it.
Yeah, no, I was just telling him he's got a special place in his heart for this case, for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
he does. And he goes, I don't care. I don't know anything. You just missed him being so
I know.
nasty.
No, the cop wouldn't let me come around.
And you saw on tape that he said he's leaving, and he never
Yeah.
left.
No, he never left. He was around the corner. I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw him.
And they're all standing. Look at them all
I know.
standing.
I know. I know. Wow, I can't believe they took the kid like that.
This is over in like 5 seconds. Can someone tell me where the guy in the green shirt goes crazy? Because I haven't heard anything. And it's over in less than a minute.
Listen again. If you could resistance, that's it. Dilks.
Yeah.
I need both of you guys IDs and then you guys first, whatever's easier for you.
For what?
Oh, I can. Do you need my ID?
Because
or
you're
what's that?
subject to a criminal investigation.
What
Huh?
does that mean?
It means you're subject to a criminal investigation, so you're required to identify yourself. You can either identify yourself or you can go to jail. Choice is yours.
No, but what's the investigation? I mean, I don't have a. But
Instruction
you have
of
my.
the court order.
Interfering with child custody.
How did we?
Because we've been sitting out here for 3 hours with a judge's order telling you that you're required to relinquish
That we
the
were
children.
talking. Nothing was
Refusing
said.
to let
You
us
have your
do
ID?
it.
Yeah.
What? This is harassing.
You guys already know who I am. You already seen
I
me.
don't know who you are.
Well, I mean,
How did you need
What?
my ID?
wow, I can't believe they took. He wouldn't let me come out. They cop.
You just told me off, and I don't care. You did it.
Yeah, no, I was just telling him he's got a special place in his heart for this case, for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
he does. And he goes, I don't care. I don't know anything. You just missed him being so
I know.
nasty.
No, the cop wouldn't let me come around.
And you saw on tape that he said he's leaving, and he never
Yeah.
left.
No, he never left. He was around the corner. I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw him.
And they're all standing. Look at them all
I know.
standing.
I know. I know. Wow, I can't believe they took the kid like that.
Listen again.
I gotta hear this again.
Dilks.
Yeah.
I need both of you guys IDs and then you guys first, whatever's easier for you.
For what?
Oh, I can. Do you need
What?
my ID?
Because
or
you're
what's that?
subject to a criminal investigation.
What
Huh?
does that mean?
It means you're subject to a criminal investigation, so you're required to identify yourself. You can either identify yourself or you can go to jail. Choice is yours.
No, but what's the investigation? I mean, I don't have a. But you
Instruction
have
of the
my.
court order.
Interfering with child custody.
How did we?
Because we've been sitting out here for 3 hours with a judge's order telling you that you're required to relinquish
That we
the
were
children.
talking. Nothing was
Refusing
said.
to let
You
us
have your
do
ID?
it.
Yeah.
What?
Hold up. You can't charge somebody on a criminal charge because she didn't want to give over her baby. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Show me that in Florida law. Show me where in Florida law it says that if CPS comes there and you don't turn your baby over in X amount of time, that you're subject to a criminal investigation. That's the biggest crock of shit I ever heard in my entire life. For real.
You guys already know who I am. You already seen
I
my
don't know who you are.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. My card's right here. Yeah.
I don't even know what card you have.
You have your ID, ma'am? Thank you.
Wouldn't a normal person ask for her ID before they took the baby? Why are they asking for her ID after they took the baby? What if it's not her? What if you just took the wrong fucking baby? This is the dumbest thing I ever saw in my whole life. For real. And that's it. But that's stupid. That's just the dumbest thing I ever heard. Of course she's gonna obstruct justice. Why wouldn't she obstruct justice? It's her child. No, and I'm saying though, wouldn't you get that prior to taking her baby? If you're so worried about her ID? That would usually happen prior. To be honest with you, she had to know why they took the baby. She had to know. Because she asked why they were asking for ID, but they didn't ask, she didn't ask the whole time they were there. She interrupted for 3 hours. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long. It's not a criminal charge. And she didn't interrupt. They came to her. Doesn't matter if it was 3 hours. Does not matter. It's part of their job. I'm trying to think of a different scenario. If you go into labor for 5 hours, the doctor charge you more? No. The only things that charge more by hourly are hotels. If you get a hotel for 3 hours. I mean, really. If Disney World, it doesn't matter. If Disney World makes you wait 5 hours on a line, do you get refunded because you had to wait 5 hours? No. Apparently the guy speaking, filming, and the woman inside the pink shirt were arrested today? Yeah, but you can't take a baby for that. CPS doesn't take a baby because it may not have gone to a doctor in 5 days. I agree, Jen. Harville, now, I'm just saying, it's not a law. It's not a law. You can't charge someone criminally because they didn't comply when you came to their house to take their baby. There's no law that says that's okay. Sorry, this is not. I agree with that too, Captain. What were they arrested for? Does anyone know their names? And here's the sick part about her going to court. She didn't even have to fucking show up. All she had to do was turn on Zoom. That's all she had to do was turn Zoom on. Like, how lame is that? Her father does have so much power, though. And what is that reason, Deborah? Oh. What is that reason? No mother is just going to hand over a child. Sorry, not going to happen. was if the mother had drugs in her system and she went into labor. I don't know. I want to know why the other two were arrested, though. Hindering. Hindering what? It's an obstruction of justice, interfering with judges. She wasn't interfering. Lindsay, you're not a mom. You don't understand. If you were in your room, Miss Leah works for DCF in Florida. And what did she say? Oh, I agree with that, Tommy. Should they bring the cops to her? A girl should have hit the link. Something's not right all around. I'll agree with that too, Rainey. It's not obstructing justice. Now, this is where I may think differently than some of you. Knowing what we know now, forget the fact that there's no court or that we don't know all the backstory, and there's obviously much more going on that we can tell. So let's put that aside for now. Let's just totally put that aside. CPS usually doesn't just come in and take your baby with a court order with no reason. She obviously knew that reason. But John Walsh also does have a lot of money, and he could make things happen. He could cause them to take the baby. He's influential in that community. So I don't doubt that he's got something to do with this. Because, I mean, look at all the cases that we see that kids are not taken. Okay, just a 5-day-old baby just isn't taken, especially one that's breastfeeding. Unless they truly believe this baby's going to end up dead, they usually don't take it. No, but Lindsay, as a mother who gave birth, you are not taking my child 5 days after I gave birth to him. You want to take them as teenagers, you go right ahead. But as a 5-day-old baby, no. No mother is going to just hand over her child. Not going to happen. And you don't know it until you actually have a baby. Here's what she just said. I work with CPS, not for them. I'm a therapist, and we get involved in okay. All right, there you are. There are red flags, but I will say if a mother or baby tested for drugs in labor, they wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but no, I'm telling you, no judge is going to say, oh, okay, you should be criminally charged over that. That is a fucking John Walsh pull the strings. No, the cops did not bully her at all. I don't get what a home birth has to do with anything. Lots of people have home births. But Lindsay, what I'm saying is there are circumstances that you remove a child, only enough money can get a judge to criminally charge you after they just took your child. You would have to be the most fucked up piece of shit ever. And I think there's money behind that, is my point. You just took her child. Why are you going to threaten her? She didn't do anything. She didn't fight you. She didn't bother you. She didn't, she just didn't want to give up her baby. Plain and simple. That's not a criminal charge. Did she hide the birth and they found? That's what I don't know. I'm thinking that too. Maybe she hid the birth. I don't know. That video was only 39 minutes. They say 3 hours, but that video was 39 minutes. And it looked like it almost started at the beginning. So I don't know where they get 3 hours from. Hey, Bum. I'm not really sure where they get the 3 hours from. I don't know. I just think it's fucked up. So now that we watched the evidence, has anyone's mind changed? about, do you guys think that she is, do you still have the same opinion you had before? She lose her, I don't know. I think we don't know if there's drugs involved. But you did see the guy in the green reading the paperwork to find out why this was going on. She held her baby comfortably. That's what I'm saying. She did. But her not going to court, see, Huck, you're wrong. She may have been the one that caused this. I'm not saying that's right, but they're like, CPS is fucked up. Her 3 kids were taken last year from mother's child was a home birth. Yeah, but do we know why the children were taken? There's a lot of whys that there's no answers. Exactly, D-Land. I need a backstory. Her thought process, she even thinks, I know. Yeah, because she believes Adam is alive. Megan Walsh is exposing John Walsh. Yeah, but didn't she start, that's what I'm saying, didn't she start exposing him after her other kids were removed? They take the baby to the hospital for drug oh, they did say drug test? I didn't hear drug test. But even so, they usually don't swipe the kid. His daughter, The system is very broken. But didn't she not expose him until after the kids were missing? I mean, after she took the kids? Yes, Am I right about that, though? She's hiding something by not going to court and not pulling out that medical paperwork. I agree. And I agree with that, too. There's no way to tell. They didn't say drug test. They said blood test. Don't know any other reason why they would do a blood test right away. The system is very corrupt. They have to have a reason. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have to have a reason. Yeah, John hasn't said a word. Can we order the court papers for this? No, it's probably juvenile. It's a baby. System isn't just broken, it's completely corrupt. It is completely corrupt. And if you think it's not, you're sadly mistaken. Blood test would test for drugs. But Miss Leah, they wouldn't take the kid right away without proof. Did they not know there was a child involved? And this is a breastfeeding child. My first video of her interview was the radio guy. She said her kids were with John and then bashing him. Oh, I totally disagree, Huck. He's a piece of shit. He's a narcissist piece of shit. Actually, Beanie, I've been on her Twitter. Is there something new? Well, she had skin cancer. There's a lot more videos out there where she talks about this. They all keep saying, fight child abusers. Huh. Okay, did she, like, shut down her Twitter? Because I'm not finding her on Twitter anymore. She was on my Twitter earlier, and now I don't see her Twitter anymore. No, you don't have to keep quiet, Huck. I'm just saying, I totally disagree. John Walsh is a piece of shit. That doesn't negate her. That doesn't negate her not going to court or anything else, but John Walsh is a fucking narcissistic piece of shit. Plain and simple. And I don't doubt that he would do something like this. I don't doubt he would do something like this. I really don't. Trust me, Lindsay, I'm not wrong. John Walsh from, the narcissistic asshole. From that show. I forgot a show. There's a lot of Megan Walshes on Twitter. But he may have... No, he does have something to do with it. They're both in court together. He definitely has something to do with it. This is his daughter, yes. But I don't know. I want to know. There's so much missing. It's like we have a quarter of a story, but we're missing so much more. And that's frustrating. Yeah, I don't see her on Twitter anymore. I see her tagged, but it doesn't highlight anything. I think she shut down her Twitter. Because it's all blacked out. Like, instead of showing a tag, it's black. America's Most Wanted, thank you. Yeah, she got off of Twitter. Lindsay, no, I didn't take an Alex Jones shot. Fuck Alex Jones. This is fucking psycho. Couple made false allegations to Florida Child Protective Services against their daughter, Megan Walsh. Well, I knew that much. It's not all of a sudden. You really think she's on drugs? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we can find. All right. All that comes up is not what I'm looking for. All right, Megan Walsh is typically often known as the daughter of American star John Walsh. Lots of persons are asking if she is blessed with children. This is from June 5th. Has become net fame after a video. The place her 5-day-old daughter was taken from DCF. It went viral. Shortly as a result of the video circulated worldwide, people started asking about her kids' and married life. While seeing the video, we realized that she's a mother of 4. Similarity inside their respective video, Megan is devastated when she tells now that the Native authorities stole her 5-year-old baby. Megan Walsh is married. Individuals are captivated by a marital life and her husband's determined. But the determinant of Megan's husband shouldn't be revealed clearly on the internet sources? What? Likewise, probably going one of many 4th children. So she's married. What? How is she married? Why was she not living there then? I don't think it is. Well, that's the same video we just watched. Yeah, I can't find why these kids were taken. Even her original kids, there's nothing. She said to the cops she was single. This is weird. Did you see the video? I did not see it. Okay, then she wrote this whole book about how wonderful her father is. Oh yeah, I saw this. This goes back to...
Vaping can deliver toxin. Jonathan Lee Riches, aka JLR, the bird dog, trying to shit against an army. You need to this here, John. What's going on today?
Okay, this is from her court hearing. I don't know, lots of mentally unstable people have kids, honestly. Like, 3/4 of this community is mentally unstable, and yet they're raising children. So there's that. This is the last video I'm playing, though, because I was going to stay on for like an hour, and it's already 3 hours. Shows you how much I love you guys.
It's a shelter petition for the baby, and by law they should not be removing, separating, bonding babies with mothers. There's no law that supports that, and I don't know anyone in their right mind that would support that. So, you know, there was never an original investigation to begin with the original TICO order, and DCF hasn't followed the law one time in this. So it's time for the children to come home. But, you know, we're going to see what happens.
When you say children, all your children?
They all need to come home. This is done. This is fraud. If people cannot see what this is at this point, then we need a lot more hope to be given. Hi, Ryan.
Are you, do you have a lawyer, or are you going to be representing yourself?
My lawyer motioned to recuse herself yesterday sometime.
So what does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know at this point.
So her lawyer quit the day before court. Okay. That also would need to go through the judge. Lawyers can't just recuse themselves or quit. Lawyers have to go in front of a judge, and the judge has to approve it. This is factual. So she's making it out like the judge just turned around, you know, the lawyer just quit. No, lawyers can't do that. Lawyers can't just quit. You have to go in front of a judge, and the judge has to approve it. Period.
I know, we're going. So we're going to see what that, okay. We're going to see what plays out. I need to ask for a continuance, and they need to keep my baby with me.
Because he's an idiot.
I've worked with them. I've done and complied. We have half of an evaluation left to finish the case plan. They're supposed to come and do a home study, and they never showed up, but they returned the next night to steal.
What is their reasoning? What is the reasoning? What are they claiming?
Oh, she said that a lawyer quit last night. That's where I got that from.
That they got a false report. I've had stalkers and harassers, and they said they got a false report that they got a report that the baby was born and that it hadn't sought medical care. That it had just been to the doctor the day before. They already have the documentation.
This is a 5-day-old baby that was taken from you.
It is.
Now, as an interviewer, You say, can I see that documentation for my audience? My audience would like to see that documentation. Period. End of story. That's why I said withdraw, cancel, quit, whatever. You still need the judge's approval. A judge cannot, a lawyer can't quit without a judge approving it. End of story.
It's wretched. And I hope this whole country realizes what's going on, because they are literally doing this. You know, it's easy to say, oh, this and that about a mother or parents or anything. And I hope that people learn from that about humility and judgment and these things that we really need to remove from our society. It's done. Our children are precious, sacred gifts from God, and we have every right to it. Parental rights are highly at risk these days.
How you been coping, Les,
Everyone.
since this happened?
I've been fine. We just have to keep the fight up, and the nation has been responding. So you know what? That gives me strength. I have God on my side, and I know that what is right will happen. This is happening for a reason, and my children need to suffer no longer. We've been terrorized for a year and a half, so it's time.
Good luck.
Well,
Thank you.
Kids have done pretty well, actually.
Yeah, let's go.
No, I'll stay.
No cigarettes,
lighters, all that stuff.
Nope.
No, we don't hold them. You throw them away or take it back out.
They're too busy on their vacation. Realizing that.
So before you go into the courthouse, what would you say to other people other mothers that are going through the same thing you're going through right now?
It's time to come together. I mean, so many mothers already have. We've been fighting. There have been mothers. I was involved in this before, my children were ever even taken. And there are hundreds of thousands of parents, not just mothers, but many mothers, because they are being targeted these days. And we need to realize that. This also goes hand in hand with domestic violence and the issues there, as well as the father's rights movement and many other parental rights. So we need to address this. Other mothers that are coming, that are going through this or have gone through it, or even children that were put through the system, and there are many that are now grown and want to speak out about what they endured and how that affected their life. These people are not psychics like they're claiming these days at this point. And, the adverse events that they say that they're trying to prevent, they're actually creating, and for money. And this affects all these families and children for the rest of their lives.
Not wrong,
The judge
though.
sits behind a box and the lawyers look at paperwork, and that is not reality, and that's not serving or protecting us.
What is the judge's name that's handling this case?
The judge's name is Meadows, Robert Meadows. He's presiding over this since January. Michael Lynn was the previous judge that did.
Hold up. He's been presiding over this since January, but your baby was just born in June. So you weren't supposed to have the baby. The baby was so my instinct was right. The baby was supposed to be taken from the hospital, and someone fucked up somewhere. That's what this is about. Because why else would there be a judge on this since January if she didn't have a baby, if they didn't know it? So yeah, I was right.
The trial for my children.
Tell me about the day they came and took your daughter away. I remember you were saying they were at your home the night before.
They came the night before when they were supposed to do a home study the day before to bring the children home. They did not show up. They did not contact us. They showed up the next night in the dark, in the rain, in a pandemic to take the baby. And when they didn't know if the baby was even here or anything like that, they said that they would talk to me tomorrow. And I said, I have documentation. We can talk, whatever you need. They said, okay. And then they...
Seymour, are you fucking joking? I haven't covered this clearly? I've been on this for 3 hours. I can't get any fucking clearer. You've got to be kidding me.
left police out in front of our house all night long, shining their high beams on the home in the backyard, having the dog bark every time they switched, cars. And
Heck, I do agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But what I am saying is that what she's saying about CPS isn't wrong. However, it doesn't really apply to her case.
and all of this. It was horrible. And then they come and have a hearing the next morning to take the child and come and threaten us at the door, and not threaten, but come to the door with a whole SWAT team.
Oh, that's right. You're right, Rainey. She had a home birth. You're right. It was a home birth, so it wasn't going to be at the hospital. You're right.
It's all
It was
multiple
just very
sheriffs there.
unfortunate.
I mean, I had to be so traumatized. Not only just having your daughter being taken from your arms itself, but just the whole experience.
Oh my God, JLR, stop.
Yeah, I did. And I've had my I've had my children taken, my home taken, my career taken. They're holding any finances that I have. And this is to break me. And you know what?
Thank you,
Again, I
Panda.
know the truth, and my children need to come home. They beg to come home, and they know the truth. How is this going to affect them? Because John Walsh is now putting this in their history and in their story, and that's devastating. We've been through enough as a family. You know, I forgive him, but they need help, and they need to be held accountable.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, so there's Megan Walsh there. She is going to go in for viewings. Ma'am, I'm in a public square here.
I know, but I do not want to be filmed.
Okay, you don't have to be in film. So I'm a public square, and she didn't want to be filmed. I have no idea why. Perfect. She's about to go in.
Into grieving parents and these situations, blamed me for it. Also, I told her that I wasn't, because of pregnancy and everything. Parents were here to fight their money and be super.
Away from you. You and families, they again closed the courtroom right now.
Oh, I know you have to get going.
Do you know what's sad? And don't come for me for this, but she was raised with enough money, and she was raised in a good enough home that she should be dressed in a fucking suit, not open tattoos and a sundress that you would wear to the mall. She knows better. And that, I don't know why she's dressed like this instead of dressed properly.
We'll walk out if you want to ask him anything or drink before that. We'll go to the coffee shop. You okay?
Yeah.
You get some water? Go get water.
Are you okay?
I call in. I try. We need people to do better. We need to change this perspective. We've been given a narrative.
Because
like
there's
we're
no
all
jury of your
stupid.
peers, right, in this case.
There's no jury of your peers at all.
I noticed when.
So,
Yep, they need to.
seen the home study, saw that I had a baby, addressed that under their law about that. We all saw, or they're being taken from beautiful families and homes that love them and put it and adopted out into the system, and all for money. These are commodities at this point in our country, and it needs to.
You are fighting for your child. You wear a suit, the most expensive one you can find, and you dress to the hilt. I mean, you're trying to get your child back. Hello?
Oh my gosh, the murder, the pedophilia, and yes, we're saying it. We're saying it.
saying
You
it out
know
loud.
what?
Yep.
The public has been given these notions, and they've been given a narrative to mock it. And if you are at that point where you hear pedophilia, or you hear murder, or you hear that someone's children have been taken, and you want to work towards finding what's wrong with that person or shaming your fellow citizen, then you have a problem, truly, at this point. This is real in our country, this is real in our lives, and this is real in our families. And it's destroying our families and our children, which are our future.
Thank you, Megan. We appreciate it.
You're
We wish
welcome.
the
Thank
most
you
of
all for
luck,
coming.
And we're gonna stand behind you, and we're gonna try to get more people behind you, and behind all, and stand up for all the children, not just in Florida, but in this whole country.
All.
This whole system needs to be redone. And,
Yes.
And I hate that you're going through this.
Time and space to look into that. The records are all online. They are all public, and it's been 40 years.
Look
And
it
we're-
up.
Yes, look it
it
up.
up. Start
and look
researching
into it.
people.
Don't believe us.
Because we are actually going to help protect missing and exploited children and children that are in these situations that we need. You know, my parents started in a certain way, and we are here to actually correct the issue. We can't have this anymore. And children are my life, and my
Perhaps
world, my
this
children are.
is the 2.0 and get it right this time.
Absolutely.
hope
And I
so.
have a lot of hope, and I know that
A lot of
there's
faith.
tons of us coming together. And that's all I've ever asked from the beginning, is for the people to come together and use your voice.
Wake up.
That's it. That's
Use
it.
your voice,
It's so
speak up.
simple. We want all these bigger things that we have to do.
Poodle, then you go to Goodwill and you spend $10 and you buy an outfit. Plain and simple. She had money for a baby. You have money to go buy $10. This is not how you dressed for court fighting for your own child. Sorry.
And we don't have to. We just use our voice and we come together, united, for what's right. We use grace, we use truth, and we get justice. That's it. There's better ways. There's better ways. And there's so many people these days that want to get involved and want to be better.
And we can't help families that do need help. But we need a system that's there for those families. That the goal is to help the whole family and get those children reunified if possible.
Absolutely.
To give the services.
Absolutely.
Yes.
These are adult.
Okay. Let's back that up for a second. Putting Clinton, the Pope, Obama, Bush, and everybody else, John Walsh, saying that they're pedos and Satanists is a crime. You can't tell somebody they're a Satanist isn't a crime, but calling someone a pedophile, yes, that's a crime. You're holding this up in a court. This is gross. This is so wrong and so gross on so many levels. So many levels. You're fighting for your children. You don't do this in a court hearing. Then you go to Goodwill, Leslie.
Absolutely.
Of the service.
Absolutely.
Yes.
These are adult issues. We should not, it's not this, we care about children. We're not preying on our children. You take care of the parents. If somebody can't pay a bill that month, you help them. And then you help them in a supportive way to make sure that they can the next month. You know, whether it's a job or something, there are so many better ways to be helping and supporting our families, our precious families, and our sacred children in this country and all over the world. So I really have been so appreciative of all the people that have come forward, especially people within the system. There are good people in the system that want to do right. It's systemic at this point. And we need people to stand forward, come forward, be doing better and speaking out about what they have witnessed, as well as children that have grown up in the system.
Right. If you're working for any of these places, you can reach out to any of us, independent or whatever journalists, and we will keep you confidential.
Here's the thing. CPS didn't take her children. CPS was only the middleman of taking her children. There was somebody higher that ordered them to take the children, whether it be a doctor, whether it be a lawyer, somebody. Not a lawyer, but her dad or somebody. But there's somebody higher. There's not somebody, like, she's blaming CPS, like, all right, let me explain this better. When people are fighting for CPS, it's because CPS just comes and take your kids for no reason. And it happens. It really happens. They have their own sick and twisted reason and they come and take your child. It's happened to people I know. There was no doctor involved. They're fucked up. So that's the CPS stuff that she's talking about. Or more likely when a narcissist is in court and claims that the mom is psychotic and the mom is losing her mind and he's actually causing her to lose the mind, that's the stuff I can see. That's the CPS stuff that she's talking about. But that's not her case. Her case isn't about, CPS coming and taking your kid. It does. It happens every day. And CPS just taking your kids out of nowhere and there's no just reason. Like, that's not what this is. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is completely different than the shit she's talking about. Like, completely different. And that's what I think is driving me nuts is she's talking like, it is like Amber Heard. Amber Heard's talking about, someone, Evan Rachel Ward's story instead of her own. And that's kind of what this is like. It's like she's talking about somebody else's story, but it's not her story. It's weird.
And we will try to investigate anything we can. Yes. With our means that we have.
Yes, we have
had
people drop off this case And there are people involved in this case that are not okay with it. They said, you know, we don't even feel like we're protecting children anymore. And to me, that's a victory.
Yeah,
that's
Megan,
a victory.
what do you have to say to people out there now that have going through what you're going through? We've had hundreds of messages.
Well, in all fairness, it says Indian River County Courthouse, this cornerstone laid by the most worshipful Grand Lodge of free and accepted Masons of Florida. So that would be why there's a Mason sign.
On our podcast page of people going through what you're going through. Give them some hope and some advice on what they can do.
Well, it's time. There's a lot of people, there are parents that have been fighting for this for decades. And it's time. It's time, and you have the chance now. You have the support. You're not alone anymore. You're not alone anymore. Your kids can come home. Even after TPR, even after everything, just come forward. Reach out to us.
Why would she be investigating CPS if they never took her kids? That doesn't make sense. I didn't know anything about CPS till they showed up at my house.
So many of us now on our team and for this cause, just reach out to us, you know, and we will get in touch. But you are not alone, and you have a voice, and you have a right, and we know that you love your children. We know that. So let's all come together, let's all use our voice in peace and just be able to do what's right to bring children home. That's it. We just need to acknowledge that this is an issue.
Love wins. Love wins.
Love does win. And many people, unfortunately, have been given an excuse, you know, and fought nonstop.
We're gonna keep on fighting. Even when we get yours back, we'll keep on fighting for everybody else's.
No, I will never stop. That, you know, I think that most people are aware of that, but thank you for bringing that up.
Yes.
Because, again, this is not
I don't care for Hillary Clinton, but she's not a fucking pedophile. I mean, give me a break.
not about just me. I will not stop fighting. I want better ways, and there are so many that are joining behind me, and I'm so blessed. You know, our angel army is coming together on earth, and I do believe. I do too. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
So, out here, Indian River County Courthouse. Megan Walsh, you just heard from her. She's going through the process. Her out of a court hearing was born, and then sheriffs.
Somebody to get their children in the system, so you need to face your fears and go, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I don't think this is right. I should just quit this job. You know, that's what they should do. They should just quit the mass exodus, quit the system, because once we stop supporting the system, then the system collapses. So if these people decide to quit, then guess what? Megan gets her kids back. That's really what it comes down to. But they want to keep supporting the system. They want to support the matrix.
Okay, newsflash, dude. It doesn't matter if they all quit. She still wouldn't have her kids. I mean, this is the mentality we're dealing with here. Like, he thinks if everyone at CPS quits, then she'll get her kids back. Like, can you be any dumber, dude? Like, really?
They want to hold on to that system so bad because they want to go back to normal. Well, we're not going back to normal. This is a whole new world we're headed. So,
Yeah, because if this is happening to Megan, it sure will happen to others in the future, or past. Probably happened.
It's been happening. That's what shocked me the most. It's been happening in our town this long.
That's what I'm saying, too. Why would the kids be in foster care? That's as ignorant as defunding the police. Exactly. I agree. But okay, so all CPS workers quit and all the kids go back to where they were. Like, give me a fucking break. I know, I'm not muted anymore. People are dumb. Dumb. How long have I been on? Well, I've been on for 3 hours. 3 hours I've been on. Don't you love how I said I was going to be done in like an hour? I said, this live won't go on for more than an hour. Yeah. And here we are, 3 hours later. I'm just going to say I'm going to do a 9-hour live and maybe I'll be done in like 3. Laura's heated. I'm not heated. I have no tolerance for ignorance. I really don't. And Jonathan, don't strike me. I mean, they love striking people. And I know I said 90 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes, max. No, it's 3 hours. It's almost 3 hours. It has been a great stream, but it's late. I haven't eaten yet. I still got a kitchen to clean. I got to do labels. I got to get this package ready for tomorrow. I'm telling you, I got to work on the website. No, but he was in here. Like, is it really better? Yeah, my hair's on fire. Is it really better to have your grandchildren in foster care? Like, how horrible could she be that they'd rather put them in foster care? That's kind of weird. First sign of mental illness, staying on longer than you said. I'm telling you. Or it was a good stream, so I stayed on longer. Keep it up and do some digging. I would like to know yeah, I'm telling you, I'm looking and looking and looking and trying to find John's story. I want to hear John's story. Why did it take JLR to bring this out? Why did it take small-time people to bring this out? Where is the news media? Where's someone getting John's story? Where, something. Nothing. He's been awfully quiet for someone that's like so outspoken. I'm surprised he's this quiet, really. It's not normal. Definitely not normal. So, but we just hit the 3-hour mark. I am going to shut down. I have work to do. And I got to eat some. I'm hungry. So, and I got to buy date in this game. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. Thank you, Jenny. It doesn't make sense at all. I don't get it. I'll follow up on it. There is 2 sides to every story. I agree with that. There's got to be more crazy. I'm telling you, I can't. Yeah, but I don't care about the crazy Rumble videos. I want to know why she lost her kids, why she lost this kid, what are the actual reasons, and what was proven. Is it corruption or is it actual proof? Is there proof? Because I hear a lot of we have, but I don't see any proof. And there's nothing in mainstream media. Nothing. The grandkids are with him right now, but he is 80 years old. And I don't know how old they are. But the only thing I could think of is that she was told that she couldn't have more kids, or that if she had another kid, they would take them. And then she had the child at home. She didn't go to the doctor. I mean, I can see why they took him. But yeah, if anybody finds out his side of the story or anything more than her conspiracy theories, let me know. I agree, Huck. I'm sure there's actual proof, but where is it? And she never asked for it. So it's out there. Like, there is proof out there. Because, again, she didn't say, well, why are you coming to take my kids? She knew why they were coming. She knew why they were there. She just, A, didn't either want it on camera, or B, she just didn't care. Because she would have to know why they took her kids. I mean, it's the first thing I say with CPS. CPS says, we're here to, talk to you. I'm like, why are you here? What did I do? What are my allegations? You know what I'm saying? I have to leave you hanging. Lindsay, you could go live. I do. I got to eat some. I got to get these packages ready. She said it's public record, so I could... No. Florida records aren't public at all. Florida records are kind of hidden. If it was Iowa, it'd be public. All right. I'm out before I get too tired. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. I'll be posting on Instagram tonight some of the box sets that I put together. Let me know what you guys think. And that's it. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for super chats. Thank you guys for PayPals, Cash Apps, anything else. And that's it. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Peace.
Mom.
I know.